Clobberin time!
Atomic batteries to power. Turbines to speed.
Roger. Ready to move out.
It's Clobberin time! Clobberonimo!
Greetings, clobberers, clobberonimos, clobberoids, clobberooskies, clobberologists, clobberarians, and every other kind of clobber out there. And for those who do not clobber yet, the secret is to bang the rocks together, guys. Hey. I don't even know what that means, but that's the secret. So if it's a secret, that's why I don't know what it means. Good to see you, my friends. Thank you those who are popping in, and I hope more will pop in later for Clobberin Times. ISU number 655 on YouTube. 1,355 overall for 14 and a half more years. And Wild Card Wednesday night, where the cards are wild, and I act like a card who was wild, or I'm a card, and I don't know. But it's here. Trust me, it's wild enough. It's wild because anything goes. So good to see you all here. I guess I'll just do some show notes, some shout outs. It's all casual on Wednesday nights here. Looks like it's a busy night out there in the stream world. Rightly so. So simple show notes are this. Tomorrow night, as you know, Monday night, we had the Monday Night Mark C. Comics Talk. That's all four of my shows here on the channel or 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Had a great time Monday night on Monday Night Mark C. Comics Talk. Then there's tonight, of course, with the wild card. And then tomorrow night, Clobby's Clubhouse. Now, it'll be a bit different the next 2 weeks. Our wonderful First Officer, RAQUEL BRIGGS, is going to be she will not be here for the next couple of weeks. She has things to do. And we cannot wait to see her come back in a few weeks. But until then, we will try to do the best we can to get along without her. It's never the same without her. We all know that. We could never replace her. Only try to stand up proudly and do her honor by pushing on with the show as the show goes on. So hopefully Mark D with a C, my good buddy and chief engineer, will be joining me for that tomorrow night. The Clubhouse, same clubby time, same clubby channel. And then hopefully before that, I'll be on Tom's with a Midnight Edge After Dark show with that great group over there. And then Friday night, I shall be on doing some comics all night with first, of course, on my great buddy J-Man's channel with Sean and J-Man and myself with our weekly review of Jack Kirby's Fourth World. Looking forward to that. Love it, love it, love it. Having a great time reviewing the Fourth World Saga by this king of comics, Jack Kirby. And it's just been great. And of course, my great buddy Nick Weiser with his 32 flavors of Nick Weiser's like Friday Night Comic Shop Talk, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. I don't know if he has a topic planned or if we're just gonna all hang out. But either way, it'll be a lot of comic shop talk fun on a Friday night. So please join us for that. Oh, let's see something today. There we go. Almost forgot. Then there will be, again, same deal with Saturday Night Star Trek. The same as there will be no Saturday Night Star Trek with Raquel. It will be Saturday Star Trek, but Raquel will not be able to make it this week. We will have just a basic Saturday Night Star Trek open Trek talk. We will have some, we'll just kind of keep it loose, but I'll have some definitely things to talk about. So it'll be all things Trek talk, and got a few things I'll pull out for us to topic-wise to speak of. So it'll be a lot of fun. Looking forward to it. Saturday Night Star Trek. Same Trek time, same Clobberin channel. Saturday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard. And, of course, Sunday night, the Geekery at the great Mark D with the GC's channel. A little Sunday night Geekery starts or ends your Geek Week well, I should say. And sometimes the Geekery turns into Eatery. But we have a lot of fun there, so please join us at 10 p.m. Eastern on the great Chief Engineer Mark D with the C's channel. And then, like I said, on Mondays, 3 Mondays out of the month, I'm always hanging out with the great J-Man and Sean, reviewing Legion of Superheroes, all of their stories in chronological order from their the only era that matters, silver through bronze, 1958 through 1989. So that's what we're doing here. That's the little show notes. Now for some shout outs. I'd like to shout out our great wrenches, whether they're here or not. And then I'll shout out those of you who are with us in the chat. The great bronze wrencher himself, Eric K. Vindicator wrench of the great White North, Chris Persia. All right, buddy. Thanks for all you do. The great D-Bud Martin, the wrench of iron. Lord Thoth, God of the wrenches, with his wonderful, always shout out to his wonderful better half, Lady Thoth. Avon lives, long live the Legion, my friend, and the aforementioned great J-Man, my partner in crime on Earth B, and fellow Legionnaire and Fourth World reviewer extraordinaire. Hungry Boy, master of the Clobberin, and artist and painter of the cover of Science Fiction Tales by Commander R.M. Briggs. Stephen Callell, Super Wrench, Maddie's daddy, Thor in Vegas, the beater of Reach Melnia, and that rascally wrench himself, Phantom Outsider, and Clobberin Time's own Maximum Redstone, our own Music Meister. So there you go. Let's see who's in the chat to say hello to. Let's see who is up in here tonight. Wagnar, what's up, buddy? Wagnar, good to see you, my friend. Keela Chow, rolling that tide. Penny. Hey, Penny. I hope you're doing well, my dear. Good to see you. Let's see here. Seth Blue Steve. What's up, bud? All right, man. Brian Hepburn. There you go. Wild Cardinal Sin Wesson. I absolutely love him. We love you. We love you, Cardi. Picasso. Hello there, Picasso. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for being here. Ravenscroft. Hello, Ravenscroft. Good to see you. Let's see. David Glenn. Hey, good to see you there. Hail, hail. Just Joe. What's up, Jobber? Great to see you, man. All right. Yeah, man. Well, hopefully other friends will join us. And when they do, they will be shouted out accordingly. That's how we roll up in here. So what's going on out there? This wild card Wednesday night, which means anything goes. Claude Selling. Hey, what's up, Claude? Good to see you, my friend. I guess one thing everybody's talking about, so why should I talk about it? But I will a little bit. Just because it's just to address it in case you need to know. Ahsoka. Who's watching Ahsoka? If you're smart, you're not like me, and you're not watching it because I've been watching it. And wow. Maybe I should wait and see if Mark shows up. We could talk about it later, I guess. But we can talk about that tomorrow. Tomorrow he'll be on. So, Jesus, this shit, man, it's just. Were any of the comics cards from the 80s and 90s worth anything today? Good question, David. Better than what I wanted to. I haven't looked into it, David. To be honest with you, I did buy a pretty good bit of cards in the 90s. But I have not looked into whether they're worth anything. I don't have all of them, so I don't know. I would have to look into that. I don't know though, because I don't think a lot of people buy this. I don't think people buy cards anymore. I'm wondering if they even make those cards. So I mean, maybe I'm sure they retain some value, but I don't know because I got you. I see you, Brian. You watched it. There you go. I don't know, David. If they're even making cards anymore. I mean, I know they make like sports cards. Are they making any like superhero cards now or anything like that? I mean, there's no market for them because back when they were making those, people cared about Marvel and DC comics. So I don't know if any of those ones from the 90s are worth a whole lot. I couldn't give you a definitive answer. I don't know. I don't think they're really not much anyway. Now, older cards, of course, yes, hold some value, but when I go to cons, I'll see them I'll see them on tables occasionally. Yes, well, Ripa did make some for Isom. Yeah, they were custom made cards. I don't know if he made a set or anything. Simply Steve says the Marvel Masterpiece set, including the 5 Prism. I like those Marvel Masterpiece cards were really good. They were cool. They had a lot of good cards back then. I like them. I still have a bunch of mine. Mark was showing some the other day, some of his cards collection. So I don't know. Good question. Now they're like Pokemon cards, huh, Brian? Yeah. Yeah. But on Brian on Ahsoka, yes, you watch it, huh? Man, oh man. I'm not good. I can't even get the energy to talk about it. That show is so buzzed down and like low energy. Adrian James, hey there. Good. That if I start talking about Ahsoka, I might get sleepy. Look, Ahsoka, there's that scene where the ship was like, what was I saying? Where was I? Good Lord, that show is drowsy. There's no energy to it. There's no enthusiasm. It's like I said, it's like taking a Star Wars film and playing it at a slower speeds. Captain Infinity and beyond. It's like a walking at the wrong speed. Ahsoka moves like it's in molasses. That's what the show feels like to me. Thank God there's only one more episode. Because this latest episode was the worst one. Yeah, exactly, David. Take 2 Ahsokas for a good night's rest. We watch it. It's not very good, but better than the MCU shows. You know, Brian Hepburn, I can't entirely disagree with you there. There's nothing worse than the MCU garbage shows. But the Star Wars shows are more boring than anything else. But yeah, they're very close, but I would have to give you on that one. Give it to you on that one that the Marvel MCU shows are worse. They're so unbelievably bad. laughably bad, and that means every one of them. So, yeah, the Star Wars shows are mostly usually, except for like an occasional really ridiculous episode, they're more boring than anything else. The thing I hated the most was the one I had of those I hated the most was Obi-Wan Kenobi, for how sickening and insulting that it was to the original film. Not that it matters. That doesn't count anyway. But you know. But yeah, I mean, I'm not even kidding. I mean, talking about that puts me into a stupor. I'm like, see, if someone were to say, okay, what was that new episode of Ahsoka about? I'd say, well, they were on this ship when there was these like there were space whales and stuff, and they were looking for Admiral Smurf and guy, and there were oh, the new episode. Should I spoiler what they had at the beginning of the new episode? Oh, I shouldn't do that. It was really cool, man. They like to jangle those keys in front of you to get you excited if you're a Star Wars zombie. They say, look who is in. Yes, there's a big cameo. I guess you could call it big. In the beginning of the episode 7. I'll take a poll before we do it. Not a formal poll. Do I spoiler it? Because I know you guys don't give a crap. Brian's seen it, so he knows. But I guess he's seen it. He said he watched it. I don't know if he watched the new episode. So, did you watch the new episode, Brian? To see that cameo that you've been waiting for? Well, not quite. You probably haven't been waiting for it, to be honest. It happened. New in store, Star Wars member berry cereal. That's right. Oh my God, David Glenn for the win, buddy. That would be a great meme. Yeah, Star Wars member berry cereal. I like it. Followed up by P Hard season 3 member berry cereal. So yeah. Should I spoiler it? Should I spurl it for you guys? I know the anticipation is palpable. You can't believe it. I mean, your just hearts are pounding out of your chest like I can't wait. I got to know who was in it. Who was in it? Because not only was somebody in it, like an older character, but they even said the name of another one. They dropped the name too, boy. I tell you, it just get more exciting than that, can it? So, come on, chat, help me out. Do I say it? Do I spoiler it's just the beginning of the episode, but it's a big one. You guys, I mean, I'm going to count down. If you don't stop me, I'm going to do it. Just because I'm that mean. Adrian, I won't be seeing it, but I've heard about the creator. I don't go to movies much, but are you going to go see that one? No, not Mannequin. Mannequin was last week. Or no, the week before. No, week before. Well, there was Mannequin was this week as well, but he was just like a hologram thing. So, all right, I'm going to count it down. If someone doesn't stop me, and I'll allow for time lag, 10 seconds, I'm going to say who makes an appearance oh boy. All right. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Okay. I'm doing it now. Get ready to be thrilled out of your britches. Get ready to go, my God, these guys are giving us what we've always wanted from Star Wars. Yay! Ahsoka episode 7. Ahsoka episode 7, folks. And I like what you did there, Wag. I'll let Wagnar do it since he did it in a fun way. He says, let's see if 3 of us are PO'd about it. I like it. Human cyborg relations. Yes, Anthony Daniels has an appearance as a really kind of. They can't even get when they do this. They can't get it. It was kind of wonky. It was kind of weird. But he came back and he mentioned Senator Organa. I wonder who that is. Mm-hmm. They mentioned berries too. They got member berries and they've got mentioned berries. Woo, woo, yummy, yummy. Yeah. So there you go. Aren't you thrilled? Come on now. No R2 or anything, but you know, he's probably with Luke somewhere. Come on now. Come on now. You know, Star Wars is back, baby. You know you're happy. It's back. Celebrate. Celebrate Star Wars. Come on, celebrate and have a good time. Yeah. Yep, you know you got it back now. It's the oh god. And he looked, it was even they couldn't even get that right. I mean, kind of I don't know what it was about the whole scene. Not that he looked all that different. There was something off about it. Maybe it was Anthony Daniels' voice. He kind of the way he moved around was kind of a nervous tick. Because you know, maybe it's just he's getting all old and messed up. Ravenscroft said, so I was thinking about what if they had done an Avengers movie in the 60s and I came up with a casting list. Okay, yeah, that works. Go for it. I'd entertain such a thing. What? No second memory wipe for 3PO? Not in this one, I guess. No kidding, David. He said I'd be more excited to hear that bell bottoms are back. Good one. Yeah, I just thought the thrill would be too much for you. So there you go. And it's just for those of you, none of you are even watching it anyway. So anything I say about the episodes won't really resonate. So there's no point going into it. Suffice to say, it's just they can never get anything right on this show because I'm thinking, okay, it'll be kind of cool to see what they do with Ezra because he's been gone since I don't know how long. And we see Ezra for a little bit at the beginning of the last episode when Sabine finds him. And so we get to see Ezra in this one. He's just a freaking dopey space hippie. He's well, there's a scene where they're supposed to the big fight. They're supposed to have a big fight with a bunch of the hell were they anyway? A bunch of things. And, you know, the shows. I was so out of it watching the show, I can't even pay attention anymore. I'm like, so anybody when we get to this, I'm thinking, okay, at least you know it'll be Sabine and Ezra. They're about to have to stop and fight these people. These what the hell were they now? They weren't like there were some stormtroopers and there was Imperial people. But there were these minions of these stupid witches or whatever. So they're about to fight them. Get attacked with these people with these sticks. And even Sabine surprisingly said, okay, here you go. Take your lightsaber. It's your lights. She had his lightsaber. He left it with her at the end in the Rebels. So here we go. We'll take your lightsaber. You're going to need it. And he goes, nah, I don't need it. Like, what? Nah, I don't need it. I don't need it now. I can use the Force. The Force is my friend. So basically, hey, Larry, good to see you, buddy. I can't. If you haven't seen this, I'd almost say it has to be seen to be believed, but don't bother. Yeah, mercenaries and troopers. Thanks, Brian. So they have to fight. Oh my God! He gives her the lightsaber, and he just starts using. I can use the Force to fight them. So he start using the Force to knock them around a little bit and stuff. And I was like, even when he said that, I think it was dopey. But I'm like, okay, he's gonna be slamming these bitches all over the place with the Force. That's okay. Let's see what he does with that. He doesn't. He uses Force throws on a couple of them, but for the most part, he's like kicking them and doing something. Like, well, what is this Force foo? Everybody was Force foo fighting. That Ezra was fast as lightning. Ugh. It's like, what in the mother of crap? Why? This is so lame ass. You kind of sign up. You want to see you want to see a pretty cool fight. Fight's dull, and Ezra looks like a dope, and then like he's on dope. And hey, Hurt 130. What's up, doobie? All right, let's see what Ravenscroft says. Casting their Captain America movie of the 80s. Okay. Avengers movie of the 80s. Here we go. Captain America, Lee Majors. Well, Lee Majors was a youngin' at the time. His hair was sort of blondish, and he was on the Big Valley, so I could see him being of the age. Yeah, you never know. Instead of going on to play the $6 million man, he could play Cap. We'll see. Iron Man, Sean Connery. Interesting choice. But it's a big budget movie. They could probably take him away from the Bond franchise. We'll see. We will see. No, we won't ever see, actually. But Thor, Ron Ely. You know what? I would have probably thought Denny Miller for Thor. I mean, he probably can't act as well, or maybe Gordon Scott or somebody like that. They've got the body for it. Probably the guys with the bod for it. Ely's kind of skinny, as Tarzan, but no, hey, we'll go with him. He's a better actor than those guys. Black Widow, Jill St. John. Yowza. She even had that kind of haircut back then. Black Widow did. Oh, I know it's the 60s. I got you. Scarlet Witch and Margaret. You could almost flip those two, but yeah, good stuff. Quicksilver, Chris Mitchum. Yeah, he was young enough. I can see it. War Machine. War Machine wasn't around in the 60s, buddy. We got Jim Brown. Jim Brown is great, but yeah, more to come. War Machine wasn't around till the 80s. Actually, 90s. But what's his name? Rhodey appeared in the 80s when he was the backup. He took over for Iron Man from Tony Stark as Iron Man for a while. Then later, 80s or early 90s, he became War Machine. But still. And Ryan Ely is Doc Savage also. That's true, Larry. He could pull, I guess he could pull off Thor. Yeah. Anyway, nice job. There you go. Hey, RRTNZ, welcome, my friend. It's good to see you. Thanks for being here. It says, Hail Clubby, it won't bring up Superman. That's okay. We can disagree on anything, man. We love it here. Don't worry about it. You can bring up anything you want all the time. He says, instead, what are your thoughts on Big Jim Shooter? Got to collect in Secret Wars better than any Marvel today. I have a lot of thoughts on Jim Shooter. I actually met him. I met him years and years ago, but I met him just this past January again at a con down here. And he was really cool. I was wearing one of my Adventure Comics 300, my Legion Superheroes shirt. And of course, he loves the Legion. He wrote the Legion. He says, hey, cool shirt, so we talked a little bit about the Legion. But anyway, I'll tell you about I have a lot of complex thoughts on Shooter. First of all, I think a lot of respect has to be given to Jim Shooter for his accomplishments in the industry in terms of this is a guy that broke in at the age of 13 years. He wrote comics at the age of 13 years old to support his family. Wrote Legion of Superheroes. Eventually ended up at Marvel writing the Avengers. It didn't take him long to get an editorship, and eventually, as you know, he became editor-in-chief in Marvel. Now, in my opinion, I think he kind of ran Marvel into the ground a little bit. I guess I may have been a little older than you because I did not like Secret Wars. I was always pretty mean to it. I didn't like Mike Zeck's art too much, to be honest. And basically, Secret Wars was just meant to sell toys, but it was just me. I was older. I was at that time where I was getting that's 1980. I want to say 82, 83, whatever that was. I was getting to a different era in my life as a comic book reader. But Secret Wars did very well. He became editor-in-chief and chased a lot of Marvel's prime talent away, in my opinion. and kind of ran him into the ground a little bit. But in the early 90s, when he went over to Valiant, I loved what he did. He put together something special, and I loved his Valiant comics of the early 90s for a good solid 2-3 years, maybe 4, whatever it was. Some of the best comics. David Glenn, Doc Savage fan? Cool. Love Doc Savage. Have no fear, the man that brought us here. Oh, yeah, the movies by George Powell is a bit cornball, but still, Ron Neely was perfectly cast. The script needed a lot of work, though. Boy, oh boy, that movie's got some cringy shit in it. Even with the cringy shit, it's, you know, he was perfect as Doc Savage. So, I'm up and, you know, like Shooter's a human being like anyone else. He makes mistakes and stuff. But I thought he did a great job on his Valiant company in the early 90s. Didn't care much for the Defiant company he did after that. But yeah, I'm a fan of Shooter. I love a lot of his Legion stuff and his Avengers stuff. Yes, Steve, love that stuff. Yeah, exactly. And he had, you know, Jim Shooter he made a lot of mistakes in terms of editorial. There are a lot of people who worked for him that didn't like working for him because he would come along and he would mess with people's stories. He would come along and say, well, you need to add, I want to block a dialogue right here where you don't have any to explain more exposition to explain what's happening in the scene because kids don't understand this stuff, which was weird. He started writing as a kid and he didn't write that way. But he also, you know, he was, I don't know, man. He was hardcore. That he hated a lot of the Comics Journal and a lot of the stuff they did. And he went after him. He gave a crazy testimony in the Comics Journal to the Michael Fleischer trial, which was something. But overall, I like a lot of I like things he did and not some he didn't. But it's complicated. Yeah, that's an interesting question though. He's a fascinating guy, Jim Shooter. And like I said, I met him and I was nice and, you know, it was cool talking to him. And if I met him right again, I would just be just as fascinated talking to him because he was there. I'm just some schmuck fan who ran comic shops and stuff like that. I wasn't in the smack in the middle of it. DJ Ronnie G. You know, Shooter. There was a big controversy early mid 80s. Where somebody stole a memo off his desk. What he was referring to the readers. Quote, he referred to readers as little F's. I won't say the F word here, but little F's. And it became the famous little F's memo. And he did not want that to get out there, but the Comics Journal printed it. That's why I didn't like him. But I thought his new universe was drivel. You like the new universe? Well, I know my friend. I really enjoyed the new universe, Justice DP, Sci-Fi. Okay, I had a lot. Oh, there you go. A lot of people liked it. I remember giving it a shot. So what I didn't stick with it long, granted. So you liked it, okay? Hey, look, there you go. You're not the only one, R. Here, and another thing is I'm probably just a bit older than you, so we liked a little few of the different things at the time. The thing is, Hungry Boy, hey, what's up? Yeah. Hungry Boy, the thing he loves most about Shooter, though, is that Don Perlin got so much work from Jim Shooter, and that made him happy because Don Perlin, of course, is Hungry Boy's favorite artist. And so it was always good to see Don get more work because of that. And then he took him to Valiant. Sorry. Not sorry. Sorry, Hungry Boy. DB so well. I thought Starbrand was interesting, but in general, the new universe was a dud. Yeah, he gave it a shot. Who was the best editor at DC and Marvel? In my opinion, at DC, it was E. Nelson Bridwell. Well, he's second. Julius Schwartz was the best. In my opinion, Julius Schwartz was the greatest comics editor ever. But E. Nelson Bridwell was really good. At Marvel, not really any of them were all that good, to be honest. They had some okay ones. Denny O'Neil went there for a while and was an editor. Archie Goodwin. No, there we go. Archie Goodwin. Thank you. Thank you. Man, I tell you what, it was instantaneous that we both thought Archie Goodwin, but you got it written before me, Hungry Boy. You're the man. I believe I believe Hungry Boy and I are in telepathic communication tonight, because I thought I was about to say Archie Goodwin, and his popped up on my screen, which means he thought of it minutes before I did, because who knows how long this time lag is. Wow, I'm to hell with me for forgetting that. But Nelson Bridwell was great. Yeah, there were a lot of them. I mean, some of those, I don't know. Yes, Xavier Clobby. But Paul Levitz was a good. But of course, I like him better as a writer, but he was pretty good at it. I guess Dick Giordano was also a great editor, right? Right, Hungry? Let's see how fast this thing is. Let's just see how fast this thing is. So, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. J.D. Lewis. Oh my goodness. Oh man. Hello, I'm still alive. I'm checking in for a little bit. Hey, how you feeling, buddy? I've been concerned about you. I mentioned you a couple times on the show. I saw you were having some issues, and I am just elated to see you pop in, my friend. You better hang in there, bro. Hang on to it, fellow geek like you. We can't make it without you. We need all of ourselves, all of our geeks, front line and center. Dick G, Mike Gold at First Comic. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Feeling better. Good, buddy. Good. I mean, I've had me some issues recently, so that I've had to concern myself with, and still am. So I know where what you're talking about there, bro. And well, we're all getting into the ages where we got to take care of ourselves, man. So hey, we got plenty of normies to pick on and annoy. So as geeks, that's our job. Oh man, oh man. Well. What is trying to think of what kind of trouble I can get into tonight. Or it's comics. Oh, there he is. Look who's here. Mark.
Let me add myself. Oh, I was talking and I was not added.
Yeah.
Hail to everyone, and glad that J.D. Lewis is doing well.
Yes, indeed. Better. Welcome. What's up, dude?
Oh, doing good. I was lurking, so I've been listening the whole time. But if you once you start getting into the chat, then I've had some work I had to finish.
I understand. Not a problem.
Nope. But yeah, so you said Ahsoka was the best thing ever, and then it kept you on your toes for your whole time, and you just couldn't wait to every second. It was just so exciting.
Toes. I was lucky to be able to take my eyelids open.
That bad? I haven't seen it yet, so I should watch it after the show's over to fall asleep.
Freaking stupid. I mean, it's not even a question. This one, it's boring, but I wish boring was the problem. In this case, there are times when it's just boring. It's just not nonsense. It's just nonsense. It's just so stupid. Can't get into it.
Yes, I heard you saying so. Ezra doesn't want a lightsaber.
Yes, they get in the fight. You don't care if I tell you crap, I guess, huh?
No, I don't care. It's pre-spoiled, as you always say.
They get in with these what the hell are they? They're the minions of these witches or whatever, and some of Thrawn's troops.
Well, the
So,
snail creatures look cute, I have to say. I don't
and they're
know if those
defending
snail
these
mosaic-
well, they're defending them, right?
Yeah, they're
And
the good
so
guys, little snail dudes.
Sabine, yeah, well, she, because she has his lightsaber. She's had it for years because he gave it to her.
Yeah.
So she says, "It's your lightsaber. Here, take it. It's about time." He said, "No, I don't need it." What do you mean? Take it. No, I don't need it. Force is my friend. I'm going to fight with the Force. What the hell?
So why do all the other Jedi Knights in history had to use a lightsaber? They were less powerful Jedi then?
Dave Filoni's a jackass. But anyway, I'm like, all right then. This better be, because I was pissed off right then when this better be good, mother bluggers. So
yeah,
he starts
like tossing people, ripping people up.
I'm expecting to see
so
people
powerful.
tossed all over the place. He force shoves a couple of guys, but most part he's kicking people. It's like I call it. It's like force foo. But he's not. He doesn't really do anything special. Where they didn't like sling rocks around and throw these people all over the place with the force. Like one or two guys he shoves, and it's so nothing. It's like, yeah, no, that's enough. Now I got to go get me some space weed somewhere. He doesn't just everything's so laid back, man.
He doesn't kick ass. But he doesn't kick ass.
Not particularly. Nothing to speak of.
Nothing like his character from Rebels.
Nope. He's just like, yeah. Whatever, man. I'll just use the Force, dude. Lightsabers are for mean people
who like to chop people up. And so Sabine's a Jedi. Can Sabine use the Force yet?
Thanks. I don't. Yeah, no, maybe. I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell.
So they had the big fight. They defeat the evil witch creatures, and
they repel them shortly for a while, and no one knows for sure because the episode doesn't tell you anything. You don't learn anything by the end of this one, other than I'm getting sick of the Ray Stevenson character. Always, everyone's saying how great he is. He doesn't do anything but stand around being mysterious. And this one, he just stops. He lets his little chihuahua go try to kill Sabine, and they can't do that, of course. And then Ahsoka shows up to fight him, and they fight. And they can't. Neither one of them. She can't beat him anyway. So she gets away from him again. But he tells the girl, "Go ahead, go back, do your destiny." Blah, blah, kind of crap. The little girl that was following him, I'm going to follow mine. So the little blonde girl. So he goes, So I'm going to follow mine. So what does that even mean?
So they just leave each other.
Yeah, he leaves her to go fight. Then Ahsoka says if he fights her, then Ahsoka leaves, and he's just standing there. So we don't even know what we still 8 episodes. 7 in, almost 8 now, and we know nothing about the guy. Nothing about him. Nothing happens. Yeah. And you got that dumb opening with with a 3PO. Big deal.
Member Berry.
Well, no, it's not a flashback. If that's what you mean.
Well, I mean, it's just you've got a cameo by 3PO.
Yeah, it's a cameo.
It's like, oh my God, 3PO's in the show. That makes it awesome.
That's what. Yeah, I guess it's kind of weird. Ezra does Jedi Jitsu, or says that. Yeah, that's a good one. I was calling it Jedi Fu, but that's perfect. Jedi Jitsu. The show makes no sense. Characters contradict themselves. Thrawn says he must control all variables. Well, if he killed them all, no more variables. He's just upon it. Yeah, he could blast the whole planet off with a. He could blast. He never was it. All those years he never goes after Ezra.
And he knew where Ezra was basically.
The guy who caused him to be stranded in the first freaking place.
Just bad writing, it sounds like. Yeah,
all of it's terrible.
I mean, episode 3 and 4 was it 4 or 4 and 5 are a little bit better, and then I haven't seen this latest episode, but episode 6 just put the brakes on any momentum that they had whatsoever. And I guess I was feeling better about the series because I'd gone and started to watch Rebels, which I really liked, and that's high energy and exciting, and Ezra's a great character. And of course, granted, characters mature and change. I'm not saying he's got to be the exact same character, but it seemed no relation to the characters that are on Rebels. And it's a cool idea. Bring Ahsoka. Let's bring live, cartoon character to live action. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, look at what happened with Harley Quinn. So that was mostly successful, I guess you could say. Of course, it didn't hurt to have that actress from Barbie playing her, but Yeah, it's just it doesn't seem like the characters drive up. And you've watched all of Rebels. I haven't watched the
Yes.
whole thing yet, so
You seen some of it?
I've seen some of it. Yeah, but how would you relate the characters, these 7 episodes, to the cartoon characters?
Oh, it's not
Very
cartoon.
disappointing. Or?
I think the cartoon's way better than that trash. I mean, the first season of Rebels is kind of wonky and clunky a little bit, but once it finds its legs and keeps going, I thought it was a really entertaining cartoon for all whatever it was, 3 seasons or whatever.
Yeah,
I liked it. One day I need to go back and watch them again. That's pretty cool. It felt
how,
like
how
Star
about the
Wars.
characters? The characters matching up in terms of the.
Oh no,
when
they're
you
terrible.
see-
She's not. Now, granted, like you say, they're older, but she's not really anything like Sabine from the cartoon. And
Okay.
he's only been in these 2 episodes. He's not. I mean, the actor. I guess is fine. I mean, he's a little. I don't know. I don't know. He's a little. It's not so much him. Empress NM. Hey there. It's just. Yeah, I'm not so sure he's really that. Ezra that he should
but
be.
as a fan of Rebels, it sounds like a lot of people would be disappointed by what's happening to these
Yes.
characters on
Well,
Ahsoka.
I would think.
Yeah,
I would think.
yeah,
But you never know.
yeah. Well, yeah, it's a Hungry
Honorable-
Boy saying he watched 10 episodes of the cartoon. Why did the animated Ahsoka have more expression on her face than the new live version?
Yeah, well, I don't know.
Well, she's a much more joyful character. Of course, then if you watch Clone Wars,
They
you get
were
a
younger,
lot of
yeah.
episodes. Yeah, you get a lot of exposition on that character. But I think the big problem is now, people call this the golden age of TV, but you've got so much space, so much time to inherit. Instead of making a 2-hour movie, could you imagine if Star Wars: A New Hope was 8 hours? And maybe would have flopped, if it was an 8-hour miniseries. Let's give you the, I'm not saying you have to always have the Reader's Digest version of things, but there's certain things in padding that a story doesn't need. And there's a reason you have great editors out there who can trim things down and make it that much more enjoyable. So this, I mean, the same thing with, as we were watching, Secret Invasion, like there's nothing happening, and this is going to have been and it ended up being horrible too. But I remember 4 or 5 episodes in, we're like, what's going on with this show? There's all this exposition and talking. You could have chopped it up into a half hour, say, what you really needed. And of course, then it nosedived anyway. Didn't matter in the end, but it's just
Yeah.
so much extraneous storytelling that doesn't go anywhere. Yeah.
Yep, yep, pretty much, and it's a damn shame. And like I said, this is really a propitious time for something like One Piece to come out, because it puts this to shame so bad that this was made. The people who make Ahsoka could not have had worse luck than to have that come out, even though one was put out, all together, and this
Yeah.
looks like taken over the course of over 8 weeks. Still, they're being compared because they're both, they're out there right now.
Yeah.
And one is the way way Star Wars should make you feel, meaning One Piece, and the other is got the Star Wars logo on it and is absolutely nothing to do with the way Star Wars should make a fan feel and has made fans feel before.
Yep.
Nothing really just holds up at all.
Nothing exciting. Yeah, nothing. Yeah, because
No.
we were talking about, I was showing my Star Wars cards the other day because I was putting them everything in binders and getting them out of the boxes. And yeah, you just look at those cards and you remember collecting them as a kid, but those scenes are so iconic. There's no wasted scenes or bad scenes. And I look at those trading cards and I'm remembering, that's that scene, that's the scene where the droid does this or the droids get sold, or everything was so epic and memorable and not wasted, or Leia grabbing the the blaster from, and was it from Luke, and who planned this rescue, so those are the things that you just remember and just stick. It's so well done, it sticks in your brain forever. And then this Ahsoka, if you asked me to give you a quote from this last, I only saw the last 6 episodes. I couldn't give you, I don't think I could give you anything or a memorable scene that you'd say, "Oh, that was really cool. That was amazing." Or
Yet I can give you a bunch of it from One Piece, and I only got to see it once so far.
yeah, I'm a different kind of pirate.
I plan to watch it again. That was a great line. I love about the part where after all Nami did to them, and then that end when turned out they were about to have to go against those unsurmountable odds, and she asked them to help, and you got this look on Luffy's face, and he smiled, just, "Of course we will." You're my crew. You're like, man, everything about that show is life affirming. It's invigorating. It's enthusiastic. It inspires you. It's got heroism. It's got, imagination. It's got every single thing that Star Wars once had.
Yeah, like in the new, the Force Awakens. Why don't we get Luke, Leia, and Han, and the crew, like you said, all together? Like, we're back together, gang. Let's kick butt. Not in those words, but you got Luke, who's a hermit. You got Han getting killed by his son. You get Leia ignoring Chewie after Han dies for Rey.
Han's a bad dad. Han's a
bad dad.
Deadbeat dad.
Luke wants to kill his nephew. The whole thing was a total utter disaster. So, George, I'm sure, damn it, why did I sell Star Wars now? He's probably thinking that way because it's been wrecked. And we got some good episodes of Mandalorian. We had that one good scene with Luke showing up at that last episode. Sometimes I just watch that scene. It's probably not worth it, but if I do go to watch something, that scene brought a tear to my eyes seeing that, because that's what we should have gotten. That was part of why people were upset, because we should have gotten Luke being a badass Jedi in those movies, and some great adventures, and the hope of Luke Skywalker.
Next week is the kicker, though. Next week is I think more people will just be watching for the curiosity of what the new what will they throw out there at the fans? What will be the big are they going to try to top the Luke Skywalker thing at the end of the second season of Mandalorian? Are they going to top the Luke Skywalker appearance? Are they going to try to top it somehow?
Kathleen Kennedy's going to do a cameo?
Is Luke going to come back? You think Luke will come back?
Well, it would be nice if he came back, but the problem is, as everyone always says, it all ends up in the trash compacter anyway.
I understand that, but that's not what I'm saying, though.
They might.
You think they might actually might pull it again?
They need to do something for the ratings, right? It must be getting trashed by One Piece. It's a problem with stream. You don't know what if this was on terrestrial TV, at least you'd know what the ratings are. But
I've been burgled. Hello there. Good to see you, my friend.
Hey, Mr. Burgled.
Good to see you.
I wonder if he's related to Burgermeister Meisterburger.
I don't know. He'll let us know, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm wondering. That's the only. The only thing mildly interesting about this show is trying to guess who's going to pop up. And that's all these shows have now. And even that's not that interesting. You just for the curiosity's sake, you go, all right, what's going to be this week? Because this week's filled with member. They all do the member berries, but this week.
Yeah, Lando's there. So what? You got to give me a good story. You can't,
Well, yeah, but
that's why that scene with Luke was so cool, because it was a badass Luke Skywalker scene.
And I wasn't expecting it.
Yeah, you weren't expecting it. Yeah,
I was
until when the X-wing showed up. I'm like, no way, they're actually doing.
But it was
this?
an X-wing. That's when I thought. Oh
my god! Yeah.
Even still, I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
You think it might be, but I thought maybe it'd be like a bunch of X-wings. I don't know, but yeah, when it was one X-wing, yeah. So, no relation, but a man of culture, I'm sure, of course.
Yeah, the Burgermeister Meisterburger from the year without a Santa Claus.
Burgermeister Meisterburger. Yeah, put one foot in front of the other.
He became a good guy in the end. Yep.
So that's the only thing that interested me about it, because I don't give a two shits for the show, but the only thing that interests me now is what they pull out of their hats out of desperation to make the fans go, see, we love you. Yeah. We love our fans. We gave you a couple of scenes with Anakin. We brought him back. And don't you love us? We gave you C-3PO. What more do you want, guys? I'm guessing.
So what? Yeah.
Since it's already been Luke, it would probably be some kind of far off CG shot of Han and Leia or something.
Yeah.
Somehow. I don't know how exactly because they have to pay Harrison Ford even if he wasn't there to act in it. Or could be
I
Leia.
think have the trilogy to get. Well, I know they bought Hamill's likeness. They bought James Earl Jones' voice, so they can do AI, recreation. So I don't know if they bought, the other actors. Leia, I guess, they did allow her. They did the CGI Leia, so I guess the state allowed it. Yeah.
Guess that could be it. It's just pathetic. But it could be something like that. Oh man. Yeah, people cried. You'll see. People cried when Luke showed up in the Mando finale a couple of years later, and people yawn when yet another cameo pops up. I can't believe people are eating this shit up and saying Filoni's a jagoff. He's nothing. Yeah, I agree with you. Filoni's a twerp. But well, I've been burgled. I think you're expecting too much. An actual story that means something other than star who? Yeah, no, they're not capable of that. Pop Culture Republic, what's up, dude?
Hey, PCR.
They're not capable of that. They're just gonna. It'll probably be longer an episode than usual, like a 60-minute or whatever.
Yeah.
And at the end, they're gonna throw something out there. It'll be some kind of. In fact, maybe like the Mandalorian will show up. And oh, there you go. How you like them apples? Or Grogu.
Yeah, when you that's why the Luke cameo was so well received, because it wasn't just hello, I'm Luke. It was he had a scene and he did stuff, and then you did get that second episode where he was training Grogu, and that was a pretty good episode
That
too.
was a Boba Fett one. Suzanne Eckstein. Hey, Suzanne. Good to see you.
I think Grogu should have stayed with Luke anyway.
Right.
The baby Mandalorian's cuteness is outlived its welcome too, I think, and the idiocracy of being 50 years to mature. It's going to take him 800 years to become to speak, or what's that's a little ridiculous. To what species could survive 50 years of being a juvenile? I mean, it's just
maybe Kanan will come back.
Who's Kanan?
Kanan Jarrus.
Oh, Kanan. Oh, Kanan. I think it's like Kanan. I'm like, okay. Yeah. Kanan, yeah.
I don't know. Maybe Zeb will come back. They mentioned
Zeb was cool. They did have Zeb on one episode of The Mandalorian.
Yeah, but I totally missed it.
Yeah, he was at a bar. He was just,
Yeah.
But that's the kind of thing where it's like, oh wow, look, there's Zeb. Yeah, for 2 seconds, you can get a scene with him.
Even Rebels fans don't barely see it. Oh, was he? Was he in there?
Yeah.
So it's crap. But look, who cares about the show? It's garbage.
That's disappointing too, because you'd think, remember when George Lucas was going to make a live action Star Wars series years ago. This is before it was sold, and it fell through, and then it kind of, some of those characters got rolled into Rogue One. Who was the character? I can't remember his last name. The guy that was part mechanized. In Rogue One. What was the guy's name in Rogue One? Saw Gerrera.
Saw Gerrera,
yeah. So he was supposed to be the focus of one of the of a live action Star Wars story. Yeah, so they were going to have a live action. I remember reading an article. They had 100 episodes planned out. George Lucas is working on it. This was, I think, in the early 2000s, and the whole thing, fell through. But that's why you've seen
Mr. Angel. What's up?
Hey, Mr. Angel.
Chef. So when Saw Gerrera was on was he on Rebels or was he on Clone Wars?
Well, I haven't finished Rebels yet, so let me check. Yeah,
he was on one of them.
He was in one of the. He was in Clone Wars. So yeah,
Clone Wars. Yeah.
Clone Wars. War on two fronts. Yeah,
I had a suspicion he was named after Shake. It was Che Guevara because these idiots who make the show think
Yeah.
because they idolize idiots like Filoni idolize scum like Che Guevara.
Yeah, it's he who was also a mass murderer, but we don't want to talk
Right.
politics here. But yeah,
no, we don't. But still, idiots, Hollywood morons love Che Guevara, and that's why I always thought that I hate that. I mean, I like the actor Forrest Whitaker, but in Rogue One, and of course those Clone Wars, I think he was named after Che Guevara, or based on a little bit, based on a silly Hollywood idolized interpretation of him, I should say. Know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, yeah. So they idolize all these dictators and fascists, but don't get me started. But yeah,
what's Hollywood for you? Idiots.
Yeah.
So,
but I'm trying to find something if I could find about the live action show. But that would have been pretty darn cool if they had done live action show and in Star Wars with Lucas running it, but unfortunately it got canceled. Never happened, and then the buyout happened. So yeah.
Well. The hell with it. The hell with talking about Disney ass Star Wars. We should talk about comics, but only good ones. It means we can't talk about new comics.
Not the ones I showed on Monday.
No, not those.
Or the Jack Kirby one was pretty cool, I have to say.
This is this is Wild Card Wednesday night, folks. So you can be wild and throw cards at me, or you can if you have any questions for us, please feel free. By the way, I'm not sure what you want to do for tomorrow night for the clubhouse, but you want to? How about we think of something? How about we review something?
Sure.
It had to be something that we're both very up to speed on, obviously, since we're not prepared for it. I bring one and you bring one, but it could be something that it could be. We won't both necessarily have to have seen it, but if we have, fine. It could be I guess it should be a movie, right? Because if it's a TV show, it takes and we can do a surprise review.
Well, we want to announce it, or we want to surprise everyone.
I don't know. What do you think? What's your opinion on that?
Well, I have a couple ideas, but maybe it'd be fun to surprise. It doesn't matter, people. Yeah, we don't have to. I was thinking maybe one of the Nicholas Hammond Spider-Man episode or the movie.
So long, I'd have to watch one before that.
Yeah, that's why I was saying I got to watch it, or maybe like one of the Captain America or Doctor Strange pilots or made-for-TV movies. That might be fun to talk about. Maybe.
Well, yeah, but that's the spur of the moment. I'm going to be going all day tomorrow. I'm not going to be a time to watch anything. That's what I'm saying. It can't be something that we really need to prepare for, because there's some stuff I could just do off the cuff that I've seen a million times.
Yeah.
Larry, review 7 Probe. I could review Probe, all 7 of them, Larry, but nobody's going to want to hear that. But if I did it, at least, and again, no one's ever going to watch them, so I could do that until, I could review a Probe episode. I'll be the only one to know about it, but
well, if you tell me which one, I'll watch it before then. Yep.
It's you don't have to do that, man. You got shit to do.
Why? I'd let him mind watching it.
Well, the first one.
Said it's good. It's got to be good.
No, it might suck donkeys. You might hate it. I'm
never have any bad recommendations.
Man, it's on YouTube. It's Probe. We could watch the first one. I mean, there's no point in going anywhere but the first one first. So it's they have it split into a 2-parter called Computer Logic.
Is it a 2-parter or is it just?
It's a 2-parter. The way it's on. Yeah, well, originally it was a pilot that was long, So they chopped it into a 2-parter with a damn cliffhanger. I'm back when hey JT Kirk.
Hell, JT.
I won't probe anyone but myself. I promise.
Where's our Worf probed?
I don't know.
Under?
Oh God, we can't say the word now without playing that. We're 12 now.
No, we can't. Yeah, we're 12. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know.
Yeah, we are 12. Yep. I am surrounded by toys in here.
What?
I'm surrounded by toys in my room. I mean, what?
Well,
Klingons do not allow themselves to be probed.
Child. What the fuck? Now you made me cuss.
No,
What?
Go back to brand one. Go back to brand one.
I went to brand one. Oh, took forever. Weird.
Yeah. Gee,
Oh.
language.
Did I cuss?
You did, yeah.
I don't think so.
Your channel. We can
I don't remember.
that, yeah.
I don't remember cursing. I have no memory of it. I can't remember that at all. Oh crap! Ola, what a long day! It's been a long day, man. I've been driving for all damn day, and I got to drive all day tomorrow too. And, oh, tired of it. In my truck, which is tearing it to pieces because it's old.
Was it hot down there or still? Or?
Oh yeah. Hey, Blunt Philly reviews. What's up, sir? What's up, sir?
Hail.
So yeah, we don't have to. They were just pulling out of there. We don't have to do that. I'm just trying to think.
How about a Man from U.N.C.L.E. episode?
Well, I mean, I don't have that.
Yeah, you do now.
Well, I don't. If we have time,
we could do the one with Nimoy and Shatner.
The Project Strigas Affair. What's the name of the episode?
That's the first season, right?
Yes. What day is there?
That's an idea.
What day is it there up in the northern hemisphere? It's Thursday afternoon down here. Oh, says Aura. It is Wednesday night, 10 p.m. here, and 11 p.m. for Mark.
Yep.
Or 11:07, 10:07. So if you're really willing to review that, we could. But then we could also do something else if you want to do the Man from U.N.C.L.E.
Yeah,
we do a lot of other stuff too. I just thought,
yeah. There's episodes of Twilight Zone we could do, or
like I said, there's only so much. There's no time now. Listen, like I said, the only reason I named it, I was thinking it's got to be something that like. There's some stuff I've seen a million times.
Yeah,
I can review any Star Trek original series episode, or
doesn't matter,
Probe, or Blake 7, or A Prisoner like that. I need not watch it right now to do it.
Do you think Raquel would enjoy Probe?
Some movies, I don't know,
because that's something we maybe would want to save for her.
Yeah, we'll save it to her. I don't think she. I don't want to make you. I don't know if I want you to watching it. It belongs to me, you know. I'm not sure I want anyone watching it but me. Even Parker Stevenson might not be allowed to watch it. Yeah, I might. He can watch it.
Don't even look at it.
Don't even look at it. Don't touch it. Although it's going to be all crumbled. One day the pictures are going to be it's going to be so whatever. There are probably no masters on it anymore. The visuals of it were so deteriorated, it's not going to exist forever. I'm not even kidding. The copy's not great.
But it's on the interwebs. It's on the interwebs, so
but the YouTube copies from, I think that one's from a VCR copy.
Yeah, they're not great, but the amazing thing is that fans are not. It'll never happen with a Pro, but fans are upscaling using AI. So I'm watching this fan upscaled Voyager version, which just looks so much better. I mean, you can really the Chicken Man looks even scarier. So,
good night, Penny.
Yeah, good night, Penny. But I think that technology eventually could really fix some of that stuff. Maybe not make it perfect, but it keeps getting better. I mean, Adobe Photoshop now, they've added AI to Photoshop. The Hungry Boy, close your ears. So like I was doing a poster for Nick the other night. I'm like, and I had a part of a poster and I needed to fill in the background, like a beach scene. I said, fill in, you basically type sandy beach and it gives you like 4 or 5 options and it fills in the damn thing with the beach. It's ridiculous. I mean, yeah, it's, not perfect, but it just, and this is primitive compared to, I can only imagine what it's going to be like in 10 or 20 years. So I wonder if they, the computers get so smart where you could, fix up those, even something that's kind of crummy, you'd have, a way to fix it up or upscale your VHS. So it's, yes, Kess is even more super. Yes.
RRTNG, thank you for the super chat, my friend. I appreciate that. He says, Clobby in chat, ever see Prisoners of Gravity from CA?
I don't know
sounds
what
familiar.
that is.
That sounds familiar to me. So familiar, but I can't. It's just not ringing a bell. RR TZ. Damn it! It sounds familiar though.
I'm looking it up. Oh, it's a Canadian show.
It's a Canadian show. Okay.
Comic strip sequence. Let's see.
Oh.
So it's animated, or is it 139 episodes? Huh, never seen it. Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, again, it sounds familiar somehow. That name rings a
We
bell,
do.
but no, I don't know. Well, review the Star Lost, Larry. Larry's always. You're always with that one, dude. Why would you wish that on anybody? Star Lost.
Yeah,
You
but
and your
what did
Hollywood-
they sell? What did they sell? 10,000 copies, or
What?
what's on Wonder Woman 1 being sold out? Yeah, I wonder. Tom King,
What are you
Wonder
talking
Woman
about?
being. Oh no, the one in the chat. Sorry, Oliver.
Oliver Belamonte.
Yeah.
What's up, buddy? Good to see you.
Yeah.
He says, "I can't believe that DC Comics claims Tom King's Wonder Woman #1 sold out and it's going through a second printing. Even Jim Lee will do a variant cover for Wonder Woman #1. Yeah, well, probably because the print run was so low.
I was joking. At 10,000 copies, or
Yeah, I mean they may have because they probably printed not 10,000, but yeah, I mean pretty bad, probably pretty low. Gwag says Prisoners of Gravity did a Kirby episode. Whoa, wow. I will have to look into it. Like I said, it just sounds familiar, but it's just
here I'll show a picture of it. Yeah.
Well, the show about sci-fi and comics in the late 80s, TV Ontario, and interview guys like Alan Moore Miller. Oh, yes. Now, I've seen these guys. Look, it's got Paul Chatto on there. Yes, Paul Chatto's talked about it.
He's talked about it. Yeah, I think.
That's okay.
Maybe it was. It probably was.
I don't know if he was on that show back then or you just friends with the guy. Is that Chatto?
That's not Chatto, no. I think he did a show on it. It says this is first comic book sci-fi pop culture show. He was an executive. I know he was a network executive.
Okay. Wow.
Very first show that promoted and took comics. Yep.
All right.
So
cool. Paul Chatto's cool. I like him.
Yeah. So
bang.
It's probably kind of like a G4 before there was G4, I guess, or Attack of the Show. Although Attack of the Show wasn't really, it was genre based, but yeah, games and once in a while comic books. But of course, Chris Gore was on that show all the time.
Yeah.
But I never heard of it before. Or maybe, yeah. So
it was their version. I think it was their Sci-Fi Buzz. Remember Sci-Fi Buzz?
Yeah. So that's.
They were both on. Yeah, those two guys. Okay, Chato's friend who does that was on with the Frantics comedy troupe. Like,
Okay.
So, yeah. Thanks, Gwag.
Very nice. Yeah.
Paul Chato's
good
cool.
suggestion. Thank you.
Yeah. Yep. I guess it's their version of like I said, Sci-Fi Buzz. Used to be on the Sci-Fi Channel. That was a good show. Harlan Ellison, that segment was always great.
I wonder if you can watch these on the YouTubes.
I'm sure it's up there. I'm sure they probably have some of it.
Some of it up there, yeah. Well, yeah, because it was always tough to get, that kind of news back in the day. Yeah, and have it on TV. That's why I loved G4 every night. I was watching G4, and it wasn't just for the cute hosts, but that
didn't hurt.
That didn't hurt, yeah. But it was always it was the only game in town. I think it was some ways that channel was kind of like YouTube before there was YouTube. The crazy sketches and interviews and rumors and it was a anything goes kind of variety show,
right?
Devoted to genre and games and computing. So now YouTube is taking that over, yeah.
Any more questions? Anybody? Come on, yeah. Dr. Demento played it all the time. Oh, Dr. Cool. Love Dr. Demento. Played the Frantics.
Yep.
Boot to the head. Boot to the head. Wah, wah. So, where were we? We can review a comic.
JT Kirk's got a I'd agree with that too. JT Kirk, yeah.
What?
G4, well, yeah, I did. Well, this is the old G4 Tech TV was they had Call for Help and Leo Laporte and the Screensavers was the every night show, but it wasn't. It was more techie oriented, nerd based, and then G4 turned it into more gaming and geek, and a few shows survived, but I was addicted to those channels. Back, I would only I have to have that on my network. That's the one channel I have to have is it was Tech TV, then G4. And then of course we all know what happened when they tried to bring it back these days with the Frost and insulting your audience, how that went. But yeah.
Of course. Of
Yep.
course. Whoa, what the hell? Yes, what was it? Gwag? What did Gwag say? Gwag asks, as a matter of fact, the answer to that, Gwag, is I've just ordered them.
What did you order?
I've just now. What happened? There's only one thing on there. I was just actually in the process of ordering them, Gwag, my TwoMorrows mags. And he was asking if I was okay. There. That's not right. Sorry about that. Where are we at? Okay. Gwag said, whoa. J.D. Lewis.
Morgan Webb.
Morgan Webb. Oh, my. Oh,
she was
my.
in Playboy. Not that I read that if my wife is listening, but yeah.
No,
I read it just for the articles, yeah. But they had Morgan and they had a couple of other ladies of G4 in the magazine. So
right,
that's then how it switched. Now you can't have anyone that's you kind of want a little fantasy in your life too. I mean, with comic books too. I want to see overweight superheroes, except unless it's the Blob. I mean, it's
whatever do you mean?
Whatever do you mean?
Whatever do you mean?
Yeah. So.
Well, I don't know, man. But yes, as a matter of fact, Flag, I have them right here. In fact, I'm just now finishing up my order on them. Glad you reminded me because now I almost forgot. Man, they're killing me with these shirts though. But place where they get my Legion shirts for the 65th anniversary of Legion stuff. Those guys have got to be stopped. They're killing me.
Too much money being spent.
I can't stop myself. I have to stop myself. It's good. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Sorry, everyone. I was distracted because I was making my order. I was finishing because now that Gwag reminded me, I hate my memory so much. Money. I hate my memory so much that I would forget and wait another day if I didn't hurry up and do it. You know what I mean? So
yep.
I was availing myself of that opportunity to make sure I ordered my mags from TwoMorrows because I got to do that. So, anyway, thank you, Gwag. Appreciate you, buddy. Without you, I probably would have forgot it for another week. But you know why? Because my memory sucks. And now I can show it to you, the newest issue of Back Issue. Because now it's online. Even though I've ordered them, I get the as you know, the physical copies of every issue of Back Issue, but you get the free digital too. So It's pretty dang cool.
Very nice.
And this
Yep.
new issue is really nice. Looks like. Because Gwag gets it too. He's my hey, David Rayborn, what's up, cousin? Okay, here we got some more questions. Oh, we should have stored them. Say Clobberin Times. Want to hear my choices for the 60s F film? Sure. F film? Oh, yeah. Olivia Munn, of course. Sorry, Mark. The articles were drivel. Okay, some true. Were they, though? Good to see you there, bro. Hail to all the lurkers and those watching later on a down row, of course. Right. Oh, wow. Look at the Hubba Hubba issue. The new issue, back issue. Look at this cover, man. It's beautiful. All right. My new purchases from Back Issue Magazine. Back issue number 147. Look at it. It's Wonder Woman. This is the 20th anniversary edition. The Wonder Woman, the George Perez years. Look at that. She was nice, wasn't she?
Very nice. Yep.
All the world is waiting for you and the magic that you do. Stop a war with love, make a hawk a dove, defend the old red, white, and blue. But I'm sorry. George Perez's 20 greatest hits of the back issue era, plus special features. Nice. We'll never forget you, George. Your art.
God bless him. Yep.
Amazing. Yeah. So for those who love comics history, wait, all three? Oh, what all three, Greg? Greg, what do you mean all three? I did get Alter Ego.
I thought he was talking about the G4 girls all posing in Playboy together. That's what I thought.
Oh, okay, good. Make it sure.
Yeah. But Sarah Underwood was also Playboy model too. I thought they all posed together, but
could be.
Could be. Who knows?
Boom, 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 boom. Sorry. I bought one of those shirts today, man. I got to stop it. Then I bought this. What is wrong with you? Why did you let me do this? Thanks a lot, Gwag. You made me spend money. I would have bought this anyway. That's Gwag's an enabler now, like you.
Congratulations. Welcome to the club.
Do you have the Inhumans by Perez, that issue?
I
bet you have that.
I think so. Sure. What's the cover look like? That's the splash page. Right?
That's
they have the cover.
Not on here, probably. Early Perez. This is some of his earliest work right there, man. Inhumans #1, October 1975, is the type of Marvel mid-1970s work that is quintessentially emblematic of the decade of comic book storytelling. Doug Mensch, George Perez, Frank Kiermonte. Now, by the way, you guys at TwoMorrows publication, so you'll know I'm not doing this. I'm not showing your whole magazine or anything like that. I show bits and pieces because I've loved your mags. I've been buying your mags from you now for almost 30 years. From John Morrow, I've been buying for you for almost 30 years, and I thank you. And yeah, so I just like to show off, what your mags have to offer, what your books have to offer. They're fantastic. So just
trying to
show
sell
little
some
bits
more,
and pieces. Yep, trying to sell some for you. Yep, Sons of the Tiger by George Perez. White Tiger. The first Hispanic superhero, ladies and gentlemen, right there.
And what year was that?
Oh, what was it? Let's see. Shoot. So 75.
75. Okay. Yep.
The first, baby. Oh man, I love that cover. I love that splash page in that comic. That's a comic we need to review right there.
Yeah.
Fantastic Four number 176.
Art's
Perez
great, Cat.
Oh, it's beautiful, but Perez and Sinnott right there.
Yep.
I love it. This was truly a great run. All right, here we go. Ravenscroft's got some casting for us from the 60s. Okie dokie. Reed, Robert Lansing. Okay. I always thought Russell Johnson looks like Reed, but there you go. In fact, Kurt Busiek and Alex Ross drew him to look like Reed Richards in Marvels. Anyway, Dan Blocker. There you go. Dad Burnett, Little Joe. Sue, Carol Lindley. Okay. Johnny J. North. All right. Would he be a bit young? Wouldn't Jay North be a bit young, the Dennis the Menace? I guess maybe you mean when he gets a little bit older. He was a trifle young, you know. Yeah, he was Dennis the Menace, remember? So. Well, there you go. That's a great cover. Great, man, that was a great comic, too. I loved it. Look, there's Jack Kirby and the whole grain. There's Kirby. And this stupid Marv Wolfman and Roy Thomas and Stan Lee. I know you have that issue. Wait a minute. Greatest hits of the back issue era. May vary. Here are perspective issues are milestones. In some cases, they reflect character. Yeah, okay, well, I see what you're saying. So, it's a pretty nice list there. It's a list. Pretty cool. Wow. A lot of great. New Teen Titans. Have you ever read New Teen Titans?
Classic. Yeah.
Great stuff. What am I saying? You told me about the story before.
Yeah.
Why is this number 20, man? This would be like the top. Oh, these going by the era, I guess, but still.
Yeah.
Greatness.
Whatever happened to the Man of Tomorrow?
Incredible. Oh, my goodness. Yeah.
And you can buy these digitally, too, if you want.
Yes, you can buy it digitally. Hey, Don, Ranger Power. Did you see any? You didn't see any questions in there while I was
No.
If you see any, you know.
I've seen all that. Yeah, I'll put it up. Yep. Well, let me change the.
Oliver L. Monk says, I read an issue of Mark Millar's Big Game comic because there was a page segment where comics fans complained that their comic book stores aren't selling good comics. Well, did you see that comic shop up in New York, one of the biggest, most famous comic shops ever, closed out? What's the name of that one?
Eds, was it Eds or EH Comics or I'm trying to remember
something like that. A big one. One of the big ones closed up the other day.
And they're asking for fans to come help them pack. You become like a community or a family. Actually, I got to say it. Like the comic book shop when it closed. I was there that last day. We were all lamenting when A Timeless Journey's time came to an end, and the owner. He's like, I'm going back to the real world, unfortunately, guys. I need to have job security and health care. And, it kind of understood, but we're all sad. It was such a great hangout. And the guy was so nice. And, I could see he was saying, and any fans, please come in and everything's on sale. And, help if you want to come help us pack. Like, what are you going to pay us in comics? But, yeah. But, could you imagine, one of those big stores? And there's a ton of foot traffic in, New York too. It's not like you're in an out of the way area. So it's just sad. And then I think another article that Mark Millar was posting. Yeah, Mark Millar had posted that, I think. And then also talking about mangas, 90% of the comic book market now. Marvel and DC and all the independents are around 10%. So they're getting domestic comic book publishers are getting slaughtered, and you can see that too. Look at you got One Piece out now. So
good night, Ravenscroft.
That is. Take care, Ravenscroft.
Good to see you. No, I hear you. I don't know what you mean. You there?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it was D-Bet says JHU Comics. Yep. Jim Hanley's Universe.
Okay, yeah, JHU. Yeah.
I knew it was some initials. Yeah, I don't remember. Thank you,
I don't know if I've
D-Bud.
heard of that one. I always hear about Midtown and all these other ones. Apparently,
Midtown Comics is
JSU
massive.
was a big one though.
Yeah, Midtown is actually a distributor for Marvel. They're a major store.
We disagree big time on that one. RS, my greatest Superman story ever. He doesn't like whatever happens to Man tomorrow, but we forgive him.
Yep.
Yeah, I gotta be honest with you. You want to hear an unpopular opinion? I love the art by Perez on this thing, but I never really got into the story too much on this Wonder Woman run. It's almost, I mean, I love Wonder Woman more the character. I can't think of a lot of like runs on on the character herself.
Yep.
But I don't know. I mean, it was great art and stuff. I just kind of all that mythology stuff. It's fine. I don't know. Didn't get into it too much.
Yeah.
Did you read them? Did you buy that?
I read.
I bought it for
sporadically, yeah.
And I was
a
young adult, but let's face it, there was still a kid in the sense that I didn't buy very many, like like I bought Wonder Woman once in a while, but I don't know. And at that time, DC was pissing me off anyway, with all the revisionist bullshit. So,
I mean, George Perez's Wonder Woman was just, if you list things that he's famous for, that's going to be one of them. That Wonder Woman run. People love that. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's true. Yeah. Yeah, D-Bud, the art's nice, but I just didn't really get into all that mythology crap. And, Wonder Woman's a superhero for hell's sake. I don't know. Nothing wrong with it.
They're going more the Thor route, I guess, right? With
yeah.
Of course, with Thor in the beginning, though, was not. It was Don Blake, and you didn't know that he really was Thor, but there's a ton of mythology in that.
Sure.
But most Wonder Woman, I don't think you got as much of mythology back in the day, right? Until Perez started doing that.
Oh, he did all of it. That's all him. I mean,
because most of the time, most of her adventures
was Paradise Island.
Yeah,
and it was all. Yeah, I mean, she was a superhero.
I wouldn't mind being on Paradise Island, though. But
well, yeah, I mean,
who wouldn't?
So here you go. You have the new issue of Alter Ego, which has a tribute to another great artist who passed not too long after George Perez did. One of the great inkers of all time, Tom Palmer. It's a great cover, by the way. Tom Palmer did a lot of painting and stuff too. It's a real nice cover there. I forgot where they took this from. They obviously took it from something they did in the 90s because these costumes are crap. Like Thor's costume looks like dog shit, but the art's good. Understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Don't understand what I'm preaching to
you?
Is
that Mantis there?
I guess so.
I'm guessing, yeah.
She didn't look that. No. Is that man?
Who is that?
I don't know. That's not the comic book man.
No, but we're just wondering with the 90s costumes.
That could be then. Yeah, it could be.
Maybe it could be Mantis.
You got me. It could be a 90s look.
Yeah.
But Tom Palmer was he was John Byrne's favorite inker. I think he could be heavy-handed on some stuff, but he was a great artist. I mean, he was around a long time.
Oh, Wagner said, wasn't that Wasp of the 90s? Well, Wasp did.
That was the Wasp of the 90s, probably.
Yeah, she did turn into the bug creature. Okay. Right? Yeah. Thank you.
Right, there you go, Gwag. Thank you.
Which was stupid.
Oh, I dumped out. I was not reading Marvel at all at that point.
That's why, that doesn't come to my brain initially, but yeah, I remember when they did that for a while. Oh God, that was horrible. Turn into a bug. Yep. And Oliver Belamonte's got a question.
Oliver says, Mark, which of the disappointing DC films that came out recently would you watch occasionally A, Black Adam, B, Shazam Fury of the Gods, C, The Flash, D, Blue Beetle? What about
All
it,
right.
Monto?
Well, what would I'd probably say the Flash because you got those Superman cameos and Wonder Woman. I thought was kind of not Wonder Woman. The Supergirl was kind of cute. Uh, Black Adam is just boring drivel.
Yeah.
Shazam, as much as I like the first Shazam movie, that's also boring drivel. Although,
Yeah.
you know the actors are good and the it's just so boring. Blue Beetle was just it'd be between Flash and Blue Beetle, but probably the Flash. I think the story in the Flash, as crazy as it was probably a little bit. I don't want to say believable, but just comic book craziness. You know, kind of like uh, Haney craziness
Yeah.
versus Blue Beetle being.
Right.
He didn't get to do anything great in Blue Beetle, so I do like that one Batman scene. So I guess I'd have to go with the Flash, but there's that's kind of like
That's a tough
you know
one.
that's a tough one. It's like I always remember the Saturday Night Live episode where remember they had the guy playing the devil, John Lovitz, and
Yeah.
Paul
Oh, yeah.
Simon's on, and Paul Simon dies of a heart attack, you know, quote unquote, on the elevator in Saturday Night Live, and he keeps hearing music of Simon and Garfunkel. And he's like, the elevator never opens, and he's just stuck here. You know, it's all great music, but it's music version. You know, the kicker at the end, he reveals himself. It's like, "Welcome to hell." You know, he's got to listen to music, Simon and Garfunkel for all eternity. So that's kind of, you know, you love the characters, but then you got to watch pale imitations of them forever. So, but thank you for the question. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a toughie though. I'm glad I couldn't
What would you?
answer.
What that wasn't
I couldn't
directed at you,
answer.
so you're
Hey,
lucky. You're lucky.
Hey,
Yeah.
you're lucky I didn't get that one directed to me. Hey, Matthew Pounder, good to see you there, buddy. Exactly, JD. I couldn't answer it either. I mean, I'm gonna have a tough time. I guess if it's another way of saying which is the least shitty movie.
Yes.
Boy, I tell you, the least shitty of those movies to me, probably, believe it or not, is Blue Beetle. Probably only because you get a couple of scenes seeing the Beetle itself and the Ted Cord mentioned. I mean, you could see him in his whatever his But I don't know. That's reaching.
Yeah, the Blue Beetle was awesome. Yeah,
that was pretty cool.
there were some good scenes in that, but Blue Beetle didn't get that
movie sucks.
kick-ass scene that he should have
No,
gotten.
he didn't get to do anything in his own freaking movie. Flash was not in his own movie because that wasn't Flash. It wasn't Barry Allen to me.
It was more Batman.
Yeah. This was a freaking Michael Keaton movie.
Yeah.
Boy, I tell you what, that is tough. I think at least Black Adam was just sort of, I don't know, was benign. I don't really like it or hate it. I don't know. Isn't it amazing when you think about it, those are the last four DC movies to be made? I got one more to go, then it's over. So and they're all drab drivel.
Aqualad.
Aqualad 2. Aqua Bro 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Aqua Bro 2, yeah.
And it looks boring and terrible.
Well, maybe the ladies will like it.
I don't even think the ladies are going to go see this one, to be honest with you.
It doesn't have the Momia doesn't have the hype anymore.
Yeah,
that he used to.
I can't think of the last time I had a really good time in a comic book superhero movie. I know everyone likes to say Spider-Man No Way Home.
Infinity War.
Spider-Man No Way Home was like, I didn't even care about that much. It was okay. It was a decent movie, but
was fun.
a lot of shit wrong with it.
Yeah, but it was still a fun movie.
It was still based on an unbelievably stupid premise. So, probably, and even in-game had too many things that aggravated me, but I did love a lot of it. So, as far as just walking out of the theater blown away and had a really good time, even though I knew there was going to be a follow-up to it, yes, Infinity War. 2018. Freaking
everyone was going crazy in the movie theater at Infinity War. Oh my goodness gracious!
So many cool scenes in it.
And Thor gets to kick ass, and of course he should have gone for the head, but
before that, when he's wiping out all when he's wiping out all those suckers with those mother bluggers with the Stormbreaker.
Stormbreaker, yeah. Oh, and then crafting the Stormbreaker. I mean, Thor got such
So
a
many great scenes.
huge applause at his entrance there. I was like,
That's the
you've
best
seen it live in
characterization
the
of
movie.
Thor we've seen in any of the movies. Right there.
Yeah,
That.
when he comes in and he's just taking names. He's come to what's the line? Chew bubble gum and kick ass, but I'm all out of bubble gum. That was
Yep.
and Thor got such a great entrance in that one. I love that. Seeing it live, you had to see it live too. I mean, or with the audience going nuts. Opening night was just utterly
Incredible.
fantastic. So
Incredible.
I'm like, wow, people are cheering for my guy Thor. It's like I've been reading him for 40 years, and he's finally people know who Thor is. And then they made him fat in the next movie. We won't go into that, but
yeah, so many.
Then they made him a jokester. But yeah, that was the high point of
Right.
Thor with that scene there. And then he's trying to take out Thanos, and he does take him out, but he almost takes him out. Then he misses. You should have gone for the head. It was a great way to end the movie. And a lot of times, that second movie, is better than the last act. It's like Empire is so much better than Jedi, even though the heroes are left in a dark, depressing place at the end of Empire. But there is that twinkle of hope in the end, that closing scene when they're all looking out into space. They gave you that scene, and the gang is back together. They can be ready for the next movie. Same thing with when Infinity War ended, everyone disappearing. So how you couldn't believe it. It was going to happen, but you didn't want it to happen. So that's why it was so good. Yeah.
Yeah. So much wrong with Infinity. I mean, with Endgame. I mean, it's without question, for me, the most frustrating movie experience I've ever had, because you know what? When you walk out of a movie loving it unconditionally, that's fantastic. When you walk out hating it unconditionally, that's at least where you stand. You know what you've been through. When you walk out where those emotions clash all throughout the movie, and they do things you love and do things you hate, and those two sometimes smash each other in the face, and they just punch you in the gut with it. I'm like, Jesus Christ! I'd rather just see a bad movie, because there's so many good things in it and there's so many horrible things in it.
Well, the worst was what they did to Cap.
Schizophrenic movie ever made. Well, yeah, what they do to Thor? What they do to Thor, they do through all the movie. At least they don't do it to Cap to the end of the movie.
Yeah.
And they don't. What they do to Tony's horrible, because when they kill him after bringing him back. I mean, he was actually great in Infinity War and that until they, everybody killing. It was so stupid to kill what's her name. Kill Black Widow, because they could have just. It just didn't. We didn't need that. Nobody.
Well,
needed it.
A comic writer can write their way around it, or you could have had Tony bring her back through the snap, or there's ways. There's no one ever dies in comics, quote unquote, except Captain Marvel.
You bring her back through the
original
snap.
Captain Marvel.
Imagine when he makes the snap, and then we see her out there on the battlefield.
You find a loophole or something, and Captain America's not giving up on his, as we said a bazillion times, he's not giving up on his compatriots and staying back in time. You could have had him. What they should have done is not have him age and gone back in time, and then he could have lived a life and then popped out of that reality into another reality. But then it gets, where's Captain Infinity when you need him? Creating all these multiple universes, or what he should have done is should have gone back for the dance and said, Peggy, I've got to leave. I've got to fulfill my destiny. Just give him that one dance, give that character that one nice moment, and then being the the Boy Scout or the honorable person that he is, he's not gonna stay in the past, and because then wouldn't you have to change the whole past? I mean, knowing all these horrible things they're gonna happen. All the assassinations, disasters that are gonna happen. About the space shuttle maybe getting destroyed. Just naming things. That you could have prevented. But then that all still happened in our timeline. It's just the more you think about it, the more ridiculous it gets. But yeah.
Yes, sir. Ridiculous. Oh my God. Well, I don't know. I just can't. Well, let's see. I can't agree with any of that. I can't. I'm sorry, JT Kirk. We can't. We don't reach on that one, brother. Empire Strikes Back is light years over. Rehash of the Jedi, which took me 30 years just to become well disposed towards. Because Rehash of the Jedi, the reason why it pissed me off in 1983 when I was 19 years old and I waited 3 years to see that is, walk into that theater. I bet since how much I loved Empire, I better get something out of this.
I think JT's being a little tongue in cheek there.
Oh, could be. I walk in there, automatically starts out kind of interesting. Then it turns into kind of, I'm like, wait a minute, it's the Muppet Show, but okay. That's okay, but I'm still, it's good. Then it becomes the freaking Care Bears movie. Then they kill, before that though, they kill, it's fine that, that Yoda dies and all that stuff, but the all of a sudden this brother and sister crap, followed by the Care Bears movie, then they just rehash the end of the first movie. And yet I still love it, but Empire,
I didn't mind the twin stuff. I know they added that later, but
it's no trouble. You can have that opinion. A lot of people like Jedi better. It's cool.
Spoilers.
James says that Peacemaker, Amanda Waller, Blue Beetle will remain in DCU continuity, and he says nothing is canon. Oh,
of course, his wife is on the Peacemaker show, so that's one thing.
Of course.
And Peacemaker was awesome, though. I have to say, that was great.
You liked it?
Oh, I love Peacemaker. Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah,
it was a fun
funny.
spoof. It was a fun spoof. Yeah.
Yeah, I always felt like I needed a shower after I watched it.
Yeah, you did. That's James Gunn for you. That's his. We'll see if he tones his humor down, but I enjoyed it. And the opening segment is enough fun. Anyway, just to watch that gets you in a good mood.
True. Was kind of funny.
That was great. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, sir. What was it? I was going to tell you. I'm going to tell you something. Peacemaker was awesome, says Black Philly. It'll never come back, probably, though. James Gunn was what?
You think it's done? You think?
I just don't. Gunn's busy. I mean, what's he? He's doing that stupid Amanda Waller show. So I don't think he might be on that show though. She'll probably put him on that. He'll probably put him on that show.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. But James Gunn tweeted out today, yesterday. It was kind of fun. It was interesting how this happened because you know how he loves really crazy, obscure characters. Obviously, really, especially the DC ones.
Boy.
Well, he tweeted out he found this new book that's what book he's always dreamed of. It's a book of the I wish I could think of the name of it now. Really obscure characters. Because just last week when J-Man and Sean and I were doing our Legion reviews a week or two ago, we came across these really outrageously silly, ridiculous characters. This is 1965. These characters. We're thinking, man, someone ought to send that to James Gunn. He'll probably use it. Then, like a week later, he tweets out. I wish I could find the name of that book. He just tweeted it out yesterday before where it was about really, really weird superheroes. Okay. I don't know if it was just DC or what. Let me see if I can find out what the name of that is. Let's see. I guess it's one way to find out, right? Go look at James Gunn's Twitter, right?
We'll find out, yeah.
Let's see. Let me find out here. Because I might kind of want to get the book now. James Gunn. Well, come on, man. I got to find his Twitter. They just pull up his Twitter buttholes. There we go. So it's called. There you go. Strange and Unsung All-Star, Strange and Unsung All-Stars of the DC multiverse. Think we can find a picture of that one?
Let's yep.
Get rid of that. That he said he wrote. Many know I have a special fondness for the wilder corners of DC Comics, the forgotten or outlandish characters who I grew up laughing with or at, but who in every case fired up my imagination and my love of outcasts and oddballs. There's finally a book for folks like me. Yes, including a forward by me. Oh, he wrote the forward for it. Wow.
Okay, yep.
240 pages of guilty goodness with Arm Fall Off Boy, Colonel Computron, the Mad Gorilla Boss, and so many, many more. Pre-sale. Oh, pre-sale now. So it's just oh.
Interesting. Yep.
That's true. Actually, it was that was on J-Man's channel, but what happened was, you're right, James Gunn was lurking here. He lurks all the time.
Yeah,
and, when I announced that we were reviewing Leech and the Superheroes, of course, he shows up. He's one of the people who show up every week at J-Man's channel. And he also I think he watches our Bob Haney show. I'm fairly sure you can whip, but I don't know, man. I think he watches them. I don't know. It's possible. Let's see.
Yeah, well, I got to be in a room with Sean Gunn. And
That's
almost
right, Sean. There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, you found it?
Oh, no. What's the name of it again? Let me goggle it. Yep.
Oh, I'm gonna go back and find it.
What was the name of it again? I can't remember that long of a title. I'll type
called
it.
Strange and Unsung All-Stars of the DC Multiverse. It's a tongue twister. Good night, Chef.
Good night.
Have a good one, sir.
There we go. Okay, superhero hype.
This might be a pre-order.
Article.
Yeah. Of course, they forward by James Gunn. Yeah, so that's why they put Peter the Peacemaker on the cover. They are some weird. They got Matter Eater Lad on there, the original Red Tornado.
There we go. Yeah.
Thanks. Gunn is wrong man to relaunch Superman too far outside his range, as RR. Agreed. Well, he's there, so let's hope he let's hope he learns. Wow.
Creature Commandos. They're awesome. Well, he's going to use the Creature Commandos now too, right?
Yep. It's almost like they made this book because of him. There's the cover.
Yeah. Arm Fall Off Boy. That's the greatest character of all time. If you told someone.
Should see some of these nutty characters.
He's actually good in the short. What was the short that they had? Was that the Arm Fall Off Boy was in? The animated short. Which one was it? Was the Blue Beetle one, or was it Arm Fall Off Boy was in one of the animated shorts that came out.
Your Muslim uncle, what's up, buddy?
Was it the Blue Beetle one that he was in, or one of them? You know, the DC Showcase shorts.
Wasn't the Blue Beetle one?
Which one would heck? My memory, Garbaggio, but he was in one of the shorts. Yeah.
Thank you, Muslim uncle. Appreciate that for the super chat. Hail, brothers and sister. Is there a sister here? Well, hello, sister. Yeah, I think we got one. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate that. Hope you're doing well. I don't know. I don't think Arm Fall Off Boy was any of the shorts.
Yeah, it wasn't.
He was on the Suicide Squad, but he was called the Detachable Kid.
He was in one of the. I could swear, one of the animated. Someone in the chat could help me. I'm trying to see what he appeared in it.
Huh.
I could have sworn he was in one of those new shorts. Yeah. But anyway, that's just what a crazy, crazy character.
Nuts. I don't know, but they put a few of the things. Is it a coinky that they have him and Shark and Peacemaker and Creature Commandos all on that cover? Cashing in much?
Yeah, I wonder.
I don't know. The Rage Cat from the Red Lanterns isn't that big of a deal. They're way I say I want to see this book, see if they leave some out. We were, like I said, because we're reviewing Legion, we're finding some characters, men in there that are holy mother, that James Gunn would love. Let's put it like that. Some really stupid powers.
Yeah, there's some much crazier lanterns out there too, right? I mean,
I'm talking about like characters that are trying to get into the Legion, and you don't qualify to get into the Legion unless you you have to have a power no one else has, and otherwise you don't get in. In other words, if you have super strength, they don't need you. They have Superboy and Mon-El, and Ultra Boy has superpower. If you could just fly, they don't need you. If you could,
well, you get the flight ring anyway.
If you could do what someone else does, then they don't need you. They've got to be a power that no one has. And yet, Karate Kid got into the Legion because all he knows is martial arts, and they laughed at him.
Laughed at him, right? Yeah.
How could you be in there? And then he told Superboy to attack him, and he threw him. He threw Superboy across the room. They're like, whoa! If you could do that to Superboy, yeah. And he became a member of the Legion with no superpowers.
Yep.
That's why I always like Karate Kid. I will deeply miss Max's Doom Patrol TV series. It was entertaining, yet it meets cancellation after 4 seasons. Okay, I hear you, Oliver. I never could watch it myself, but I hear you. Sorry about that, buddy.
I watched the first 2 seasons. Haven't watched 3 and 4 yet. First season was really good. Second season, wow, that got bonkers, but it was interesting. And the rat scene was so bad. That rat scene, oh god.
It was probably based on a Morrison comic.
Oh god, it was so bad. It was one of the worst things I've ever seen.
Really? Wow.
Because they got shrunk down to size and they were like small, and there was a scene with the rat, and I just didn't need to see it.
I'll never see it. Black Racer isn't goofy, one of Kirby's most dignified and noble characters. We're reviewing was it Matthew Pounder? I don't know if you know, but on J-Man's channel on Friday nights, we're reviewing all of Kirby's Fourth World. It's been a long time since I've read it. And Black Racer's interesting. I'll tell you what, he's something. But I guess it's just his look and he's difficult to define, but we're not that far off into it. And it's been forever since I read him, so it's interesting. But,
this book sounds pretty interesting. I mean, that'd be a fun book to get.
A visual encyclopedia.
Yeah.
I wonder how they did their work, because there are a couple of them. A couple of people tried to get into the Legion, and but maybe they mean actual superheroes, not just wannabes. So yeah.
Because there are a lot of characters that were just on probably for just a couple pages.
1 second,
not
so
even
they don't count.
1 second. Yeah.
Well, so was our Fall Out Boy. He's the same thing. He was trying to get into Legion and he couldn't. He got out. So if you're going to use him, you can use some of these other dipshits.
I love Arm Fall Out Boy. Yeah.
Oh shit, he's something. He's the bestest ever. And then there's that cat's weird though.
Well, what's the weirdest Green Lantern? I mean, aren't there some crazy?
You've got a planet being a Green Lantern's kind of odd, but it's cool.
Yeah.
You got an asparagus Green Lantern. Looks like one anyway. We've got different insectoid type Green Lanterns, stuff like that. But yeah,
it's just crazy bodies, and I'm trying to remember some of the. There's a crystal character. What was that guy's name? I'm trying to remember the.
I don't know.
Was it like an amoeba one or like a?
Oh yeah. That's right. Yeah. F Sharp Bell.
Mogo's the planet. Box. I'm looking at Box. Yep.
F Sharp Bell.
Yeah, F Sharp Bell. That's what I was thinking of. Yeah.
Yeah, he's great. No,
I found an article. Leslie Pond, Alan Moore creation, super intelligent strain. Here, I'll show the article. Why not? I knew I would find the craziest Green Lantern. So these would be
maybe a Green Lantern.
Yeah. So here you go. So Mogo, of course, everyone knows the
Love
Living
Mogo.
Planet.
Alan
Yep.
Moore.
Created by Alan Moore and Dave Gibbons, of course,
Box.
right? Yeah. Yeah.
Was he like
Box,
a mother box Green Lantern?
Box was for just 2006 Green Lantern Corps Recharge by Dave Gibbons, Jeff Johns, and Patrick Gleason. I don't remember that.
I was probably gone at that point.
Yeah.
Original box that has the abilities of the Green Lantern box was first introduced in 2006. I was reading it at that point. I don't remember.
I don't remember it either. I probably was reading it. Yeah.
But how is it a being?
I guess it's a being. Yeah, it's an alien life form. Yeah.
All right.
I don't know how it reproduces, but
no, I don't either.
You got to get at the box cutter. I don't know.
I don't know.
Leslie Pond.
Leslie Pond. Another Alan Moore creation. Yep. The super intelligent strain of the smallpox virus that patrols Sector 119 and is called in for cases that deal with biological missions that the other members of the Green Lantern Corps aren't able to investigate. Leslie Pond played an important part in the Sinestro Corps War. When Alan Moore was pissed about it, saving Guy Gardner's life. And he was like, when Alan Moore created it, was only like one page or like one,
yeah,
kind of a throwaway thing he put in there. Actually, I remember reading that. I have that story, of course.
And of course, Chip.
There's Chip.
Yeah.
Chip or Chip. Chip. It's like
Chip.
Chip. And Nort's a weirdo too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Wagner.
Chip was a good character.
Nort's annoying.
All of it.
Weird. Yeah.
Oh, God,
all right, JD, buddy. I'm glad you're
JD.
back, man. Please get well soon. Be safe. Take care of yourself, brother. And make sure you stop in and say hello sometimes, buddy. Amanita.
Fungus says live for eons. She just thinks at a slower pace than most other Green Lanterns, but has shown herself more than capable in a fight. If anything, Amanita understands the arc of time is long and there's no need to rush. It's a fungus, yeah.
Wow.
It looks like a big shroom, yeah.
Collective. Collective. Wow.
Huh.
That looks familiar.
So it's a ring? The one was it? Floating Fuzzballs on the planet were actually a hive mind called the Collective. Whole race to become the new Green Lantern of Sector 1287.
Yeah.
Here we go. Is that the asparagus? Oh, dirt.
No.
Dirtsky RRR. The mathematical equation was discovered. Oh my God.
RR, I'm right there with you. He says Karate Kid's death and an eye for an eye never really worked for me. Great story, otherwise beautiful art. I agree, but I was pissed that they killed him. That Giffen, that jackass, he hated Karate Kid, so he kept killing him. I love Val Armour. It was well done, and it had a powerful impact on me when I read that. At the same time, they killed him just because Giffen's a jerk. And I wish he hadn't died. That was my Karate Kid, man, not Ralph Macchio. DeCrizzi, what the hell?
This is insanity. Diskritsky RRR. It's a mathematical equation. This is one for antiderivative Jill. It's an equation. It likes to enter its enemies' minds and erase them. Something the Guardians really wish it wouldn't do. Now this is when you're getting a little bit too far. This is all right. A fungus or a planet, but
who did
mathematical equation.
Even Alan Moore wouldn't do this.
An idiot, yeah.
Maybe Alan Moore did it, but I don't remember it. No.
Discovered the formula, but gave it sentence.
They don't say who it is.
Yeah, because it's so embarrassing. Let's see. So this is
Deba. It's the Mandelbrot set. Except that comic came out, it was called Big Numbers. I bought those because it was Alan Moore. I had to. I actually maybe the only one that bought Big Numbers. And I was only only one or two of them or three? I'm in with her. Well, but it was going to be the Mandelbrot set. But yes, it's the Mandelbrot set.
This is the Obsidian Depths.
Rotlop fan.
Yeah, there's a blind Green Lantern, and this created a problem without seeing light. Rotlop fan didn't understand what being a Green Lantern meant or what the ring could do. That, yeah, doesn't make exact sense, I guess. Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah. And then number 1, Duck Dodgers.
They're being silly.
That's being silly, yeah.
Just silly. Silly.
I love Duck Dodgers.
It's silly. Very silly indeed. And a bit suspect, I should think. Now let's have something decent and proper and military. Wait for it. Now listen here, everyone. I like a good joke. Buster's next for them, except for my wife. And yes, some of my friends. Oh, yes, listen, Captain Johnson. Come to think of it, no one enjoys a good drink. I messed it all up. I suck. So, well. We've been here a couple hours.
Yeah.
And we've changed the world. We'll think of something, no?
Well, James Gunn is going to listen to what we say, yeah.
Well, I forgot to tell you, he's here. He's here, so. James Gunn, look. I don't want you to make a move on the Superman script till you show it to me and let me improve it. That's one thing. And yeah, that book, I'd like to see it, though.
In charge of Superman now.
That was a bad one there, though, Hungry Boy, but thank you, buddy. Rotlop Top Green Lantern was an Alan Moore creation. Great story art by Bill Willingham and Blackest Night. Man, those few Alan Moore Tales of Green Lantern core stories. Well, Bill Willingham, of course, did F. Sharp Bell also. Those few Alan Moore Green Lantern tale stories are just incredible, man. They're amazing. Russell Munkle, the next show that we're going to review when Raquel comes back in a couple of weeks is going to be Blake 7. As far as tomorrow night, I don't know what we're doing.
We'll figure it out. Hopefully you'll all be there, though.
Yeah, I hope you'll all be there. We'll review we'll do all kind of stuff, but we'll review stuff.
After the show ends, we'll figure out what we're going to do.
We'll figure out stuff. Yes, we'll review something. Big surprise review of something, I guess. Isn't it great, though, for 2 weeks, nobody has to watch Voyager? Teasing. Raquel, we would rather have you here and love and watch Voyager. We love
yeah. Oh, that's
we're
true.
Kidding. We're kidding.
I do like Voyager. I'm giving Voyager much higher ratings than you guys.
I know.
Yeah. It's not
no. Remember,
bad.
I think didn't you dislike one? No, there was. I think you disliked one that we liked last week, but then you liked one that Raquel and I didn't like.
Tuvix. I like Tuvix. Well, I did give it the A+ just to kind of get.
You're the weirdo that liked Tuvix, yeah.
It was a good episode, yeah.
No, that's all right. I didn't hate it or anything. It's a lot. Hey, Parker, look, what's up?
But we're in space and we're not as much soap opera stuff.
Yeah. I mean, no, I'm joking.
I know.
But it's nice to have a little break from it. Break from stuff.
Yeah.
You can watch whatever I want for a while. That's one F. Sharp Bell. That's the one F. Sharp Bell. That's Rotlop Fan. Moore also did Tigers with. Yep, he did that one with Kevin O'Neill. Short story, bunch of characters he created got used as an SO War. Of course, he did. You're talking to the Alan Moore encyclopedia right here, sir. And that's a horrible, dumbass thing for me to say since Alan Moore doesn't look as fans anymore. So he would say, if you've been reading too many of my comics, you can go screw your American self. You bloody fat American bastard. Because he doesn't look talking about his comic books anymore. Even his 80s, especially his 80s work, which he thought was really bollocks, and he hates it now. Yeah, my work now is far better. That 80s, 90s was a bunch of pig swell. I'll hate it. And if you wrote my comics, I'll hate you too. Yeah. So, get a life, you some fascist bunch of Nazis, racist pigs. What was it? What else he say? Oh, it's like watching Marvel movies and destroying your bloody brain. What's left of it? I'm going to read things I wrote, except after 2005. Hail Hydra, that's right. See, I told you J.J. Kurt was a Hydra. See, I told you. Yeah, he's coming out as a sub-Hydra. Yeah, he probably reads modern comics.
Well, I still buy modern comics, so I can't comment.
Yeah, because you're a sub-fleecist. Challenge. I was kidding about the encyclopedia thing, but okay. Name a single issue done by Moore that's better or more epic than Miracle Man number 15. It's tough because that's one of his greats. And again, it's all a matter of opinion on this point. But
what's the best issue of Watchmen in your opinion?
Well, see, I don't consider it to be a best issue of Watchmen. I consider it to be one story. If I had to pick a favorite issue, it might be the either the Dr. Manhattan origin or the Rorschach origin. But I love it all as one.
You wouldn't say that's better than 15, though.
Huh?
You wouldn't say it's better than Miracle Man number.
Yes,
15.
I would.
Miracle Man number 15 is just That's batshit crazy insanity. Oh my!
You have read it?
Yeah, I have it. Yeah. I have the reprint.
I would say I put Watchmen at the very top of all of his work, but his Marvel Man / Miracle Man, is right up there. So, print RR, that's tough because I love Miracle Man number 15. Man, I love it, and it's the most. I'll tell you one thing about it. I'm not sure where I'm going to put it. I think Watchmen is a little bit better overall story. But Miracle Man number 1 is without a doubt the most disturbing comic I've ever read. And I've read plenty of the other things that come afterward that are full of shock value and things with more gross things in them or whatever. But a lot of times reading comics are the time you read them, or so a lot to do with when you read them. It's part of the where you are in your life and that sort of thing. I happened to own my own comic shop at the time when that comic book came out. We've been waiting a year for that comic to come out. When I read it, I was gobsmacked. I'm like, this is the most horrifying thing I've ever read, because this is the ultimate in what would happen if a being with, say, Superman-type powers were to go just nuts. And unrestrained. Like I say, you've seen it, Mark. It's just insanity. And so you won't get me to. It's tough. It's tough. Ain't a single issue done by Moore. It's more epic than it's tough. I think there's some stuff, but not
the
much.
Last Superman. That's one of your favorites, right?
I love that. I do love that more. I love that more than I love this, because Miracle Man's not supposed to be loved. It's supposed to be scary.
It's so very well done, though. That's when I first read it.
Yeah.
I remember getting an issue. I was buying all the reprints of, Miracle Man / Marvel Man. When Marvel reintroduced them. And when I got to issue 15, it was, oh my God. It's so hard hitting. It's so brutal. It's, it's.
When did you get it?
Well, when they were reprinting the series.
Oh, yeah.
Probably 10 it 10 years ago, and now they started the reprints again, and they were in a actually in the store. It was in a sealed bag, and they had they had like a behind the scenes of each issue, and it was kind of like a DVD with special features. And my God, that one was
it is truly nightmarish. It's the ultimate in what could happen if a person, if a being had that kind of powers and was that evil. It'd be like the Joker having Superman's powers, except Johnny Bates. Well, he does actually sort of act like the Joker a little bit. There's a scene in the previous issue at number 14, or it was the previous issue maybe before that, and then they carried over into it later, where the Johnny Bates had been stuck at this. He'd been a kid. He'd been like not saying a word for decades, just sitting there like a vegetable. And he was being taken care of at this home, and this nurse who was always being really nice to him and all this kind of stuff. But a bunch of bully a-holes started punching him around and all this kind of stuff. And throughout, he was trying to contain Kid Miracle Man inside of him and was talking to him inside his head, trying to get him to say the word, insulting him, berating him, as you remember. And then finally these kids get a hold of him and they, basically we all know what they do to him, right?
Yeah.
And he can't
what
take
he
it.
Says in the end, I mean, what he says.
Right. He can't take it, so he says Miracle Man. And then boom. And then, of course, destroys him. I mean, anyway. So he walks out and there's this one nurse.
Tragic.
So he says, you were the only one that was nice to me here. I think I'll let you live. And he walks out. She goes, thank God, thank God. Then he walks back in. He goes, but then they would just say I was going soft. And he burns her face off. And then the next time we see, the UK, holy crap. There's never been anything like it. In comic, you can go out of your way to do the most gross, horrible, disgusting shit you want. Well, Parker said, great show, guys. I was going to ask you a question about modern comics if you're okay with it. Please. No, ask it. And Parker, if you're still here, please ask. If you're here, please ask. We got a minute.
Yeah.
And it was truly, it'll never be top, in my opinion, for disturbing because of what it deals with. I still have my original Miracle Man number 15. Me too. No matter what's happened, I always kept it. Even when I gave away 9% of my comics, Min 15 is indeed utter madness, deeply disturbing. I'm right there with you, dude. Right there with you. And Matthew Pounder said, Skiz is totally broomy. I don't know what broomy means, but I had Skiz. I have all of Alan Moore's Skiz too. It was different. It's almost like his take on E.T. Weird stuff from 2008. It was a 2008 strip that he did.
Well, of course, other Alan Moore stuff would be Killing Joke, I guess, always comes up. Well, there's a lot of controversy about that one.
I love his obscure work like the Ballad of Halo Jones. Not that obscure, but that.
That's one of your favorites.
It was pretty good. It's been a while since I've read it. I need to go back and reread it. I wasn't too big on the art on that one. That's kind of my problem with it. But DR and Quench was great. He was just amazing.
Oh, your Muslim uncle has a question. Yeah, that has been in trade paperback, and they actually are re-releasing Miracle Man yet again. You can buy it currently. It was on my pull list. I don't know how often it's coming out, but what they were doing, they were reprinting them, and then Neil Gaiman was going to finish his storyline, but there are graphic novels of Miracle Man.
Yes, they're all out there somewhere.
They're out there, yeah. Or of course you can get it digitally, but a lot of people like the paper trade back, better. But and that's one too. If you seek out the Miracle Man reprints in issue form, I mean, were there 18 issues or 17 issues of the original? Something like that.
17, I think.
17.
16 was the last Moore issue,
and then
after that, Neil Gaiman took over.
For a couple of but that's something. If you find, I don't think those reprints are that expensive. If you really want that comic book experience, I don't know if the trade paperback includes all the background stuff that the reprints had, but the reprints, it was really great to read the articles after you read the comic. Then the making of, behind the scenes on that comic book. It was really well done. The
basic publication history of the character is he first appeared in Warrior magazine, which you have. It's Marvel Man. It was Marvel Man. Then, of course, when they decided to bring it over to the States through Eclipse, they couldn't call him Marvel Man, obviously. So even though Marvel also, Fantastic Four #3 in 1961 had a character called Miracle Man, but still they got away with it. They decided to call him Miracle Man in the Eclipse, and they reprinted the Marvel Man comics and had to go back and change the name, So he started at #1. By the time they get to issue 7 or 8 or whatever it was, they were out of story. The story had stopped. So eventually Alan Moore came in and finished that first story, closed that plot line, and a couple issues had some really crappy art by Chuck Austin or whatever, which I hated. There you go. The omnibus. There you go.
It's an omnibus. 2022. Yep.
Agreed, Hungry Boy. And I met Cat Ironwood once. She was a.
Yeah, so this includes Warrior 1 through 18, 20 to 21, Miracle Man from 85, 1 through 6 to 16, Marvel Man Special, material from A1, and all new Miracle Man Annual 2014. So
nice.
And this is really what you need, is that the stuff from Warrior Magazine. And I'm sure it's obviously been, given the omnibus treatment. So that's definitely worth. I don't know how expensive that is, or that'd be one worth buying. And I'm assuming it has hopefully it has all the behind the scenes stuff in there.
Could be.
Yep.
They can't put Alan Moore's name.
Yeah, it doesn't say. Oh yeah, there's no Alan Moore there.
By the original writer.
They
Parker,
don't mention Moore in here at all, right? Yeah, no.
Oh well, I don't know if they mention him on there. Probably
no, they don't mention him. Nope.
Why? I mean, they should mention him just to piss him off.
And Moore.
Yeah.
He's the and Moore, like
and Moore,
and all the rest.
Yeah. Parker Luck asks, my question about modern comics that I want to ask is, what do you believe is the cause of both Detective and Marvel comics being so awful of late? Too many resets or too much political leaning? I think, it's interesting you mentioned both of those. Those are definitely both big factors. One thing you can't help that anyone can, if they were really doing very good comics, they'd still have to compete with video games, and they're never going to be able to do that again. Even if none of that bad stuff had happened to comics in terms of the politics and other things, they would still have people liking to read comics, and they would be way better off, but they'd still take a backseat to video games, and they wouldn't be quite as big, but they would be better off. Politics certainly did it, but if you want to just take the politics out of it for a second, I do think it's also the resets and the events. I'll tell you something that started aggravating. The whole woke crap, I was gone from comics before that started being a factor. Because around 2011 is when I finally just started. After Screw 52, I started to leave. But before that, because I've been back reading mostly DC throughout the 2000s, Marvel, I just was tired of them. I really wasn't doing much Marvel. But I kind of come back, and I thought there were some good comics through the early part of the 2000s up until 2007, 8, 9, whatever. And then all of a sudden, the events just got out of hand for me. This is, let's see, Blackest Night. Now, I like the Sinestro Corps War. I thought it was okay. But then you get Blackest Night. I didn't like it much. DC Zombies, I hated it. Then you get right after that. I mean, that lasted a year, and I, like a moron, I bought every crossover. I'm so embarrassed. Then you have Brightest Day. Right after it. I'm like, oh my God. Can I just read a comic? Then R.I.P. and Final Crisis and yada, yada, yada. Every freaking title affected by it. Where before you had a crisis once in a while. I mean, you had an event, but you also had a lot of fairly individual comics. So I was like, you know what? I can't take this. I was sick of the events. I just want to read comic stories. This is pissing me off. So I finally stopped, or I cut way back. They were doing a couple of books I still liked, and then the Screw 52 came along, and that put the kibosh on. I was like, well, you know what? They don't really need me around anyway. They're not going to event me. They're going to chase me away with this trash. So I just never touched it. Left, and only DC books I buy occasionally because they ended up with whatever the imprint, the Vertigo imprint, ended up with Astro City, so I had to get that. They started doing some other comics that were independent of the Screw 52 here and there that I would pick up that I enjoyed. But if it's Screw 52, I wasn't going to touch it. For the most part, I was done. I'd buy some Dynamite titles. I was trying to buy any comic to enjoy. I bought a couple. I could never get into any of the Marvel books anymore. So, yes, it's resets. I think also it was events that killed it. And now, then along came the politics, slowly creeping in. I don't know. What do you say? Like 2014, 15, 16, maybe?
Well, I mean, there's always politics.
It's always been there, but I'm talking about big.
I mean, big where it's really super noticeable, where it's like, the latest issue of Captain America 1, Steve Rogers buys his apartment complex is going to be
I know, I read
down.
it. Even I read
Which
it.
isn't it?
J. Michael Straczynski.
Yeah, so it's not bad per se, but then have you so you read the issue then, right?
I did, just because I wanted to see the art.
How politically did it get?
This always going to be Captain America is always going to have social commentary.
Yeah.
I honestly didn't mind that too much because he's living in the building that his mom lived in, and if I were Cap, I'd call Tony Stark and use his money too.
Yeah, I would do the same thing.
So
yeah.
I don't mind that much, but it is. You're right. First, so here it's going to get bad because I mean the art was. I talked about this a lot the other night on the show. I looked at the whole issue. I showed everybody the whole issue, that issue. And because I was looking at it, because it's J. Michael Straczynski, the Babylon 5 creator.
Yeah.
And I was showing it, and I was like, well,
how was the? Oh, here's a picture, but you liked it or?
That art, it's okay.
I got the cover.
It's kind of very computery. Yeah, if you want, I can show the whole thing.
That. Oh, you got the? Well, you can get in trouble for it's brand new. You don't want to show the whole thing, right?
I already did it.
Oh, you already did it. Oh, okay.
The other night. I probably shouldn't have, but who cares? They won't know.
Right. Yeah.
Anyway, it's just you don't have to show it if you don't.
Well, there's that gives you an idea, right? There's the
what I showed and Parker. I hope that I know that wasn't much of an answer, but I think it's a combination of both the things you said and a pigheadedness for them to ever learn from any of their problems. They don't care about the bottom line over there. They want to push an agenda. Right now, they're all about the agenda and therefore the resets. So to me, it's a combination of both with emphasis on agenda. If that helps you and gets closer to your question, I'm sorry I've took so long to go around it.
Well, plus also as you said, too, all the multiple tie-ins that they have all the time, where everything is we're one night I pulled up a website that had all the crossovers. In the 70s there were like 3 or 4, and then each decade there were more and more and more of the these crossover events where you had to buy a bazillion books. So like X-Men, I gave up collecting because it was just the stories were so batshit crazy in terms of all the plot lines and threads. And even Claremont said that he did that just to to tweak readers. He threw in plot threads and dangled things, and he had no plans to finish them. So
Yep.
it was too hard to follow. I mean, I pride myself on have some decent reading comprehension, but the X-Men just got so scrambled. It's just like go read that first 12, 15 issues when that X-Men were, would you call it rebooted, or I guess rebooted, reimagined. It's after 94. I mean, they were just the new All Different X-Men was it's such a joy to read that first 15, 20, 30 issues are just so phenomenal of the X-Men. And you don't have to you don't need a notebook to figure out what's going on. So it's a combination of that and the just horrible dialogue too. I mean, some of the writing is so juvenile when you read it, and I'm reading some new comics.
Well, let's see here. Oliver Belamonte mentioned Jesus Says was the artist for the new Captain America by Straczynski. He penciled 2006 on Mac. I mean, yeah, it's kind of. I mean, that style's kind of antiseptic. It's pretty good. It looks very done on computer to me, but it's all right. I guess it tells the story. Your Muslim uncle says, "Woke is not social commentary; it's cultural Marxism. It's intended to affect and destroy." True. This J. Michael Straczynski, however, and many Captain America comics have had social commentary. But I mean, is it going to be woke that way? All I'm saying is we don't know that yet. But what I can tell you is every time, one of the things I showed when I broke this comic down the other night, and I did it. You're right. I probably shouldn't have done it since it's brand new. I didn't think about it. Oh well, they can just trash me if they want. But I should watch that. Should not do that with new comics anymore. I wasn't thinking about it. See, if I had you here and to tell me to warn me, I wouldn't have.
Sorry.
You could have warned me. I was kidding. But anyway, so every time they go to an action sequence or to something cool in it, you haven't read it yet, right?
Nope, I haven't read it.
Well, I don't want to spoiler it for you then.
You can spoil it. It's
Well,
fine.
It's yeah, Dave Cockrum's great. We love him.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
all right.
amazing. Yeah.
We'll put it like this then. All right. Every time something cool is in the book, it's like for a page or two, and then everything else is him saying with him buying the building and him helping people this and that, and it goes back to a lot of flashbacks of him as young Steve Rogers, and including by the end of it, he ends up. Some guy tells him it shows all the horrible pains he went through living by himself after his mother died. Which again, is that really? I mean, okay, I'm really not really interested in that much.
It's more modern day stuff, yeah.
And he
sounds like
at the end he ends up to go a place where he heard there were free hot dogs, and turns out it's a you know what kind of a rally, Yahtzee.
They're playing Yahtzee.
It's a Yahtzee rally. But before that, there's some shots, like some action sequences, look pretty cool, but they're a page. They're like one page. There's a shot where Susan Richards comes along. She looks like her real self in a real costume, real FF outfit. It says, "We're fighting Psycho Man in this other dimension. Could you help us out?" Sure. And this one page of them with the real looking Fantastic Four, they look real. It's cool. It's kind of cool. I'm like, wow, they look like one page. Next, boom, okay. He gets back, he's all tired. That's modern comics for you right there, folks. It's ass backwards. They think Straczynski, all of them, they think we would rather see 5, 6, 7 pages of exposition and talk and life of the character and 1 or 2 pages of action here and there of Captain America not even really doing anything. They tease the action, it never happens. There's another one like some other page. I know, like for example, I saw it at the end of the issue. It shows in the next one, like it's him and Spider-Man is gonna be hanging out. Yeah, they're gonna be hanging out for 5 seconds on 2 pages, and it'll be it. The rest will be about Yahtzees and him, Cap's community service work, and him as a kid dealing with all these jobs and stuff that he has because he's living by himself and nowhere and all this kind of horse hockey. And I'm like, is that what I want from a Captain America comic? Probably
not.
I mean, not me. I mean,
once in a while they used to, an episode. It's not so you can't do it, or between story arcs, or you add a little bit of that. But if it's too much of that all the time, if it's too much talking in hallways, and of course, if it's really good dialogue and it's something interesting, you don't always have to be, in a fight. Obviously, can't all be, punches and shield throwing and that kind of stuff either. But but Captain America has been political in the past and will always continue to be. But it's how it's done too. I think where if it's done where the writers have something they want to point they want to get across, and they try to craft a story to meet that, where instead of having organic to the story or a subtle way of showing it, that's when you run into trouble. Like they had Batgirl, with looting or protecting looters and rioters, and same thing with Batman. They had some recent scenes in modern comics where you're like, what the heck just happened? I mean, there's no way that this Batman would let a looter go or excuse that. And Batgirl, and the new Superman stuff where they had Superman fighting certain types of weather patterns. I don't even want to say the word because that's bad for your algorithm. But it's the same thing like when Superman, the classic, DC's greatest comics, the Treasury edition, and I had that Superman story I read as a kid where Superman thinks he's dying, and it's actually Jimmy Olsen has some kryptonite stuck in his camera, so every time he's near him, but Superman is irrigating the planet, he's trying to cure world hunger, but he's doing it because he thinks that's the end of his life. Oh God, that's a great story. And it turns out it's not, but that's the problem with Superman or any of these heroes. Once they get involved in actual day-to-day stuff where, yeah, you guess you want him involved in that, but you can't, because then it just wrecks. You just gets too political, and you can have Captain America, fighting for the U.S. overseas, or in current day political things that I won't mention. I mean, then why are those heroes not doing those things? So as soon as you cross that line, you get out of that fun fantasy realm and into the real world, which doesn't make sense. Like the 9/11 issue with Spider-Man and all the heroes, was a nice sentiment, but
Garbage.
with
Garbaggio.
when they had the villains actually helping at 9/11, just didn't make sense. I mean, it just so that's when you mess things up.
You know what? One of these things is not like the other. One of these things is just not the same. One of these things is not like the other.
Wow, look at the difference there.
Look at the difference there. All right. This one's like, hey guys, let's buy our I'm gonna buy a building. I'm gonna buy a building, man. That's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna make the world a nicer place for social justice. Yes, sir. I, on the other hand, we're gonna stop the mad bomb because it can destroy the world, you butts. Come on, Falcon, let's kick some ass. Look at that splash page.
It's gorgeous. Yeah, but of course, Cap did come in and punch the main Yahtzee there in his first appearance. So
he did.
So yeah, but you can't take that.
Punched him.
But that's an obvious. Yeah, but that's
he didn't buy anything from him.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Well, they were talking about those groups did exist in the pre-war. So that was something. There was a lot of there were a lot of pro-German forces.
Yeah, the captain of the state.
Henry Kissinger.
Starting to talk about footage. See, they got political. Yeah. And Kirby hated Nixon. Kirby hated Nixon, man. And he hated Henry Kissinger. But Cap still kicked ass over there.
That's a good point. Yep.
What are you going to do? So he got political.
Yep.
So I wonder. So again, I ask you guys. It's a quiz now. Yep. Agreed. RR. Agreed. The only thing I disliked in Captain America stories over the years was when Marvel writer Nick Spencer, piece of filth and fast and trash, making Captain America Hydra. Yeah, that was trash. They did get rid of this. Apparently,
they got rid of that, right?
Well, we think so. I don't know if I trust Straczynski, to be honest with you. Oh, you took that one down. I was having fun with that. Well, I was having fun with my this, that, the other thing. You there?
I'm here. Yeah. Oh, I took it down. Yeah, I took it down.
That's all right.
Yeah. I figured it was enough of that. That's not bad, but it's not good either. I mean, it's just
it's an approach. It's a tone. I understand they don't have to be Kirby. But be a Captain America-ish story. I mean, again, it's just I don't know. But Straczynski's not going to do. Let me tell you something. I don't trust his ass as far as I can throw him when it comes to comics. He's written a couple of comics I like.
Yeah.
But he's written some really shit-assy comics, too. I mean, putrid, poo-poo, drivelly trash. But I'll be fair to him. He did do a comic I love.
Yep.
I know it's shocker. And I'll show it to you.
Let me see it.
I'll show you to be fair to Straczynski, that I really liked. And then we'll get out of here. It's called The 12.
Not familiar with that.
I'm sure I've talked about this before, haven't
I? Well, I can't remember, to be honest.
It's Watchmen-esque in some ways. It takes place inside the Marvel universe. So what they did was, again, when he takes characters that don't really belong to him, but they're big and popular, he dribbles all over them. But these are characters that were very, 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 very obscure, timely characters. For those who don't know, of course, Timely eventually became Atlas, and Atlas eventually became Marvel. So these are characters from the 40s. A lot of knockoff, silly ass characters. What happens was they were helping. They weren't the big guys like the Invaders / although the All Winners, like Cap and the group that Cap and Subby and all those guys, but they were helping in the war, and they got brought into this, lured into this trap. All of these guys, and it froze them in time, and they ended up getting brought back in 2008, and then so now it's them dealing with the modern day world.
So they're old school heroes, right? That are
the Daily Bugle, the 12, of Tomorrow, the Phantom Reporters. That guy. I mean, they had some really goofy names. But there's the big guys.
Yeah, that's great art there. Wow.
Chris Weston's art is terrific.
Awesome.
I love his art. This is a great story. And so there's the big guys, right? Doing the big guy stuff. But some of these other guys, eventually, these characters got trapped. But anyway, just to give you an idea, I'm not going to show the whole thing. But it's really good art, really good story. And what happened with this thing, long story short, is that around issue number maybe like 8 or 9, 7 or 8, somewhere up in there, right?
Yeah.
It just kind of stops. So we're going to be kind of on hiatus. It's supposed to be 12 issues of the 12. And we're like, oh my God, really?
Not again.
Pretty good.
Right?
Yeah, because that happened so much. And then they came out like a year or so later, they came out like with a special issue, which was pretty good. But it was still just like a special one-off. So like, Jesus Christ. Man. So 3 years later, they came back with the last last 3 or 4 issues. It was either 3 or 4. To finish it up. And I was like, oh man, it's not gonna be as good now. But they finished it up very well, I must say. And I remember I've got these like in a not a quarter bin, like a 50-cent bin or like a dollar bin, just a few years later. I already had them, but I said, well, they're all in here. Let me grab some more. And there is a trade. I managed to get a trade at Ollie's for like $3.95 or something, $3.99. So it's dirt cheap out there. But it's a really good comic. And again, these are characters that nobody knows anything about. They're very obscure. They're They're timely characters. So, but it's a good comic. It's like, but every time he gets a hold of Spider-Man or Superman or Batman or anybody else, man, he sucks. God damn it, man. He says some dumb shit. It's like he doesn't care about the character. That's not language. That's linguistics.
I'm joking. It was a joke.
I knew you were joking. I knew you were joking. You know why?
You knew I was joking.
Because even I know that sort of thing. I know you really didn't say language. I was thinking about that today, by the way. Like, is anyone not going to mention that the Cap said language?
I got a clip to that one too. Yeah.
And for gosh sake, you should probably get the part, that one or maybe the other one where he goes, and for gosh sake, what's your language?
Yeah.
Remember later when he says it, when Tony says that?
Yeah. Add it to my list here.
Add it to the list. I'll put it on the list. All right, buddies, my friends out there, we've been here long enough. But it's a wild card Wednesday night. You will soon forget, because you just forget things like that. I know I do.
Don't forget that. Yeah.
It'll be forgettable, but I had fun while we all lasted. Overrated is a kind way to put it, in my opinion, there, Mr. Matthew, but I hear you. So, anyway, you got anything to promote or to
well, I had a new video out today.
Really?
On I haven't been doing as many videos because I'm waiting to remonetize. I don't want to screw things up too much, so just been doing the geekery. But I had my Indiana Jones promotional copy record. I did a video on that had been given to me by one of my dad's friends, because he saw my collection of Indiana Jones stuff and Legos, and so the story. Well, go watch the video. I'll put the link in. But he was living in Dallas, Texas at the time, and the first 100 people at the movie theater got the soundtrack album, for going to see Indiana Jones opening night. Now, I don't know if that happened all over the country. Maybe it did. It was just like select movie theaters, maybe, like New York.
I wish it happened to the one I went to. It didn't.
Yeah, you were there opening night?
Oh yeah.
Awesome,
The first night,
yeah.
I think so. I mean, that was 1981. I don't know what. Back then, I didn't know what opening night was. It was the first night. It was the first day it opened because that daytime I went to see Clash of the Titans in the daytime, and then my family and I we were on vacation somewhere, and we went and found it first night.
Yeah,
so
pretty nice. Yeah.
Who knows? So I don't know.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool to get to see it opening night. So I don't know if maybe Retro Blaster would know more about it. He's
I don't know the action. It could have been the night back then. It was different. Not everybody opened the same exact.
Oh yeah. No, but in terms of this soundtrack being given away.
Oh yeah.
This is so it says for promotional copy only, ownership reserved by CBS. It was a giveaway. You couldn't buy it. So I don't know what the scoop is on this one. That's my dad's friend what he said. But so yeah, go check out the video and watch it, and hopefully you like it. I got copyright claimed on I use a theme on Indiana Jones. Oh, screw you. I guess put it in the first time I didn't get it. Doesn't matter though. It's just a claim. It's not not that I guess if I had 1 million views on it, I'd be upset. But yeah, I had the clip. I just did like dun 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 dun. Dun. The first time was okay. The second time they got me, but that's all right. Who cares? I had to put a couple of seconds of the soundtrack in there. But check out that video and watch and like it, please, and share it. It'd be much appreciated. And yeah, there was my Patreon. I think who suggested that I show the inside of the album. Maybe it was I think it was Shooter. Or one of my patrons. So shout out to my patron, Shooter, Brian Hepburn, Rob Altus, and Larry. One of them suggested that or maybe all of them, maybe suggested I show the inside of the actual vinyl. So I did finally show the vinyl. So I went back and re-edited. So thank you for that suggestion. Made sense to do that. And yeah, just we're hanging out with you in the clubhouse tomorrow night. After the show ends, we'll figure out and what we're gonna talk about. But always fun to be here, and hail to the chat. It was all a lot of good questions. A lot of fun hanging out with you guys. Yeah.
Well, thanks for being here. I do appreciate you, and appreciate all of you for being here. Let's see. Let's show notes, of course. Tomorrow night, the clubhouse. Everybody will be Mark and myself, and who knows what will happen. Surprises galore. Friday night on J-Man's channel with the Fourth World Review, J-Man and Sean, and also later with Nick and the gang over there at 32. And Saturday night Star Trek, we'll be trekking about something, open Star Trek. I've got some things in mind, I hope. If I ever get a chance to get them all together, we'll see. Sunday night, we got the Geekery of Mark Shuttle and Timmy and Eastern Standard Time. And it could be Geekery, it could be Eatery, we'll see. And then the Monday night, back to our Legion of Superheroes reviews on J-Man's channel with Sean. Looking forward to that, of course. And back here, Monday Night Marksy Comics Talk. So lots of clobbering up ahead of you. And then shout outs, of course, to the great wrenches, Eric K, Chris Persia, D-Bud Martin, Lord Thoth, J-Man, Hungry Boy. Well, Hungry Boy, I owe you one. Let's see. Foreign policy. Captain America cannot be trusted. Mr. President, I think he should be deported from the country for interfering with us, Mr. President. Sorry, I know that sucked. Remember how Rush used to say, foreign policy. Foreign policy. Steve Callell, Maddie's Daddy, Fanty Outsider, and Max Redstone. Let's see who else. What is up in here in the chat? Erg. All right. Hey, Rob Altus popped in. Yeah. Good to see you. Well, everyone, we'll shout everybody out tomorrow night proper, of course. We want to thank you all for being here with us tonight. Good to see Rob Altus. And Dave G. Sound popped in, too. Oh, man, I almost missed you there. RR and Hungry Boy and everybody else, thank you so much. I hope you will join us again tomorrow night. Thank you, RRTNZ. We appreciate you, man. Appreciate all of you for being here, Donnie.
Thank you.
Everybody who showed up. Yep, just thank you. We'll get everybody shouted out proper again tomorrow night. Back in front. So, in the meantime, everyone, have a fantastic night, and we'll see you tomorrow. Later, gang.
Later.
What'd I do wrong? Oh,
nothing. You never do anything wrong.
True. Not.
I just love clobbering time.